And a very warm welcome back to you. Welcome to the PGL Europe Minor Championships day number 3. We're in our final matchup of the day. It is match number 3 too, the upper bracket final. This decision between two teams will decide who gets to go through to the grand final and fight their way out for $45,000, or the share of $45,000. The other 5, of course, going to third place. It's Penta versus Dignitas, perhaps not the upper bracket final that we thought we would get, but both teams have fought their way through admirably through group stages and semi-finals. We've got change up on the desk as well. Harry back on the desk with us as once more.
Yeah.
And we've got Thorin.
No. Yeah, we do actually, yeah, you're right.
In theory, we're hoping for a good game now, because I don't want to be too mean from the semis, because they weren't really good games, were they? We saw the weird game from Dignitas. The first one was exciting with all the crazy overtimes and stuff, but then it just demolished Big in the second one. So in theory, these are the best two teams. That's what the paper says. That's what the playoff bracket says. So let's have a good game in the final.
Well, especially because like Penta have actually cruised through most of the time. They've looked good fairly consistently. I mean, Big obviously looked better because they just hadn't been touched by anyone. They are now gone, dead now, of course, in the lower bracket. But the difference is Dignitas have just kind of gradually peaked over the tournament, actually. They've almost had an ideal tournament in as much as they made people think they were weak early on, that these maps couldn't be played, and then they gradually suddenly got a map pool and players could play, and yet now is the ideal time. They're already in the qualifier anyway. If I'm them, aside from the prize money, so you've got everything to play for, right?
Yeah, Rubino said earlier on he just wanted to play and have some fun now and use it as a learning experience. So I guess that's something. We're going to start off by talking about Penta. What have you made of them so far, Harry?
Penta were a team that I think from the beginning I thought were going to do quite well. They were definitely one of the teams that I saw making it this far, or at least potentially could.
Didn't mention that, though, on day one. It's weird.
I actually did.
No, it's iGame that you were picking.
No, I don't think iGame didn't even play on day one.
They definitely played the first game on day one.
Oh, wait, yeah, they did.
Yeah, so it's all right, mate. I'll keep checking.
Guys, carry on. Just,
anyway, bring it back.
The reason being is because when I watched them
please, carry on. Someone fetch me some popcorn. I'm enjoying this.
Okay,
it's great.
At the Mountain Dew League LAN finals, saw them take... I know...
Were you at that one?
I have a pool of 3 events, Thorin, okay? So maybe at least let me bring them up.
Okay, well...
and this is the one time they're going to be relevant as well.
Yes.
I mean, I saw them play big. Yeah. Oh, okay.
There we go. Bring it back.
Okay.
All still mitts.
So I said the word. And again, Penta. It's not good.
There we go.
I have to agree.
Yes.
Penta. I think they've looked really good and really quite promising, in all honesty. A very well-rounded team, and one that I thought had the potential to beat Big, and that was the thing. I mean, seeing that Big were also one of the favorites to kind of make it through and pick up one of those major qualifier spots, I feel like, Penta are a good team. They have a couple of players in there who can make a huge difference. And I think they've been going from strength to strength. They looked a little bit shaky here and there early on, but they have picked it up since. Yeah.
I also want to point out, these two teams were open qualifier teams. They weren't invited to the closed qualifiers. They weren't invited to the minor system at all. They are open qualifying teams. They made it to the upper bracket final when other teams that were invited along the way didn't make it here.
And obviously that has been a topic of conversation, at least among the inner circle in esports, of people who think they should have had spots and then went through the open qualifiers and didn't make it, even though, as we've mentioned with like Dignitas, there are many, many open qualifiers, It's not as though you're one and done and you just ran into that one Space Soldiers or whoever who happened to beat you. You had to pretty much lose to almost the teams here or the teams just below them to not make it. So as much as I'm not a fan of online play, I mean, we have already got it to the point where you play online to come to a minor, to go to a qualifier, to go to a major. It's a pretty good system overall, and I feel like giving so many chances, it does somewhat ensure that the teams that get here, as we're kind of pointing out now to circle back, are actually of good enough quality. They didn't just win the open qualifier. They've turned out to actually be the best teams at the LAN.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about Dignitas. Fabulous, Harry, in the semi-finals. Didn't expect that kind of CT side from them. I don't think Rubino did when we spoke to him either. He was like, we finally got a good CT side together. Great.
The thing about it was, it seemed like they actually addressed a lot of the issues we saw them having, and seemingly overnight. I mean, we heard them kind of speaking about the issues that they encountered. There were some very, very clear problems they were running into. And I think up until now, maybe a couple of teams that they have played against and beat on Inferno never really figured those out. And it wasn't until we saw them play, it was versus Penta, right? Yeah, that actually got discovered and exploited just relentlessly. And the second that kind of hole in it all was exposed, they were very, very quick to go and rectify that issue. And I think that's quite commendable to do it on such short notice in a team that is so new. I was really impressed with that Inferno, and it was very It resembled how we saw them crush Space Soldiers 16-2.
Yep.
They were in fighting form once again, and it was phenomenal stuff to see.
Yeah, it was definitely a similar throwback to that closed qualifier, which they had to come through. They'd got taken all the way in that closed qualifier as well, by the way, all 5 matches before they were able to get through in that last match against Space Soldiers. Let's take a look at the map veto for this one. Again, it's another best of 3. Thorin, take us through it.
Yes, I mean, when we come into this equation here, like the interesting one for me here is that Dignitas, like they do the normal permaban at this point in time, but actually their pick here, Mirage, this is another example of where they're just picking for their own strength. And we've actually ended up with the same first 2 maps here, Mirage and Inferno. And when they were going against Big, you actually looked at that and you thought, they're pretty good on those maps, you know. So you're almost just saying, we're going to have to just be the better team than you. Forget having our map and this is your map. So I always think when you have this sort of a setup where Penta can play both, Dig can play both, you can actually, it's funny, you'd think that would mean you get the 3 maps for sure because both teams are really good. You can also get a 2-0, obviously. So I feel like this puts everyone on uncertain ground. You don't have a real home map, you know. Now that can be good. You can lose your map and go to the next one, but also you don't have that confidence like, okay, we lost this one, but our next one's our map, you know. Big found that out, you know. They were going over to Inferno. They thought, oh, it doesn't matter, we just lost theirs. You know, we've got this one here. So I feel like certainly very good for Dignitas as much. We just saw them play these maps. They're absolutely warmed up. I do feel like Inferno, despite the strength, we've been talking about this, the online record for Penta, fantastic on this map.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I think it's quite dangerous in a way,
But
isn't
on LAN, even though they win the matches, there's always a few moments, there's always a few plays where you kind of wonder if they haven't quite got it figured out. And I have to say, after watching that Big game there, as much as, yes, Dignitas had a great CT half, I think Big had a very flawed kind of plan in how they attacked the site. Like, I actually think that from watching Penta, remember, these teams played before. Penta's actually a team that they know how to attack that banana. They know how to push Fox out. And I feel like that's the one where I can see why they've gone back to that despite the rocky time, because they feel as though for this specific team, they've got the strategy in place. And if anything, if you're Penta, you just saw them almost lose Mirage. You've also kind of got a game plan there. I think this is going to be the real test for Dignitas. If they can win here, then we have to just start saying, hey, maybe they were the best team at the qualifier.
Okay, I'm hearing that the players are just about ready. So let's head over to our commentary team for game number 1 of the upper bracket final. And there they are.
Hello,
boys.
darlings.
Hello, darlings.
How's it going?
Very good. Are you all set for this? I was just thinking, Group A, Group B, we often do this, don't we? We go, oh, we think Group A is stronger than Group B. Here, we've got both teams from the same group and not from the group that Envy and Pig are in.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing with Big, because Envy, we kind of saw it coming, but Big now being in the lower bracket, imagine they're the ones not to go through. Like, I'm all excited to see Tabson get into, you know, the qualifier, play against some upper competition, see what they've, you know, specifically, he's really got Bethesda as a team.
Yeah.
I almost want them to beat Envy for that storyline, but at the same time, you don't want to see Envy not go through. Like,
No, Scream not in a major.
Yeah.
Happy not in a major. What?
That's the main thing for me. I
That's
can't
crazy.
imagine a world where they're not making it through this tournament. I really hope they do.
That's
I think
nuts.
it'll be
What do you expect in this one, though?
you know what? Indulge me for a second. Yes, both these teams are through. And
Fair warning.
both these teams are through, right? And I don't really count the money as a massive deal. But at the same time, I think that means we're going to get some really exciting Counter-Strike coming forward, because there's no nerves anymore. They're not going to be playing like, thinking, oh, we can't possibly lose this round. We're going to see some really high-octane plays, amazing clutches, and people going for those kind of BDPs, as you would say.
I love it. I'm with you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm with you. I hope that's exactly what we get.
Amazing. Well, let's do it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, see you later.
Well, now that it's just us, I think we're alone now.
Finally
Henry.
alone.
Turn off the camera, please. We've got to get to business. Mirage, to start things off. Just saw Dignitas play this. Wasn't as... I think their Inferno was much improved. I think, obviously, we'll talk a little bit more about that coming into it, because there's still some issues there where they weren't exactly tested in some ways, but big improvement. You can't take that away. Massive improvement from Dignitas. Mirage, not so much. They were a little bit stale. There was some issues. Fox going toward the catwalk repetitively left some vulnerability at B, because all they really had to do was isolate Rubino, who was being kind of passive.
They're still feeling out Fox's role here. He seems super keen right now. He wants to be in the battle every single time, getting up and close in person. That was the problem with Inferno. They kept going too aggressive and trying to find that first pick, and they were letting themselves down yesterday. But if they can find a balance on today, like they did on Inferno today as well, then maybe they've got a real chance of taking this on. I think Dignitas are probably, on paper, one up there with Envious in terms of like you'd expect them to make it through, which they have already. It's kind of crazy to think, like we discussed with Envious, that they're kind of struggling right now. They still could go out, but either way, it looks like we're ready to start. Matthew's going to be Penta on the T side here as we go into Mirage. 3 sets of armor, Crystal and Innocent with the 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and 2 HEs. Normally seeing the very standard pistol rounds here. Smokes towards steps, smoke towards jungle, fly in towards that bomb site area, try and push towards spawn. We have got one player top of middle. That's the danger man, Sunny. It seems to be his role on most maps, and we'll see whether he can get stuff done here. There's aforementioned smokes, and it's up to Croman, a player I'm a big fan of, to defend.
Trying to do what he can as Jacob this time gets forward of the smoke, so a little bit more assertive. Remember, Croman also got caught a few times at this T-spawn. Look at HS go! 2 kills, and somehow the second one, he gets fast enough to turn around and find the third. That gives Sunny a bit of an entrance. Puts him in a 1 versus 2 against Croman, who again is going to pinch himself into his sight. This is where he got over aggressive before, but he's pulled it back this time, and he's going to keep the aggression going. Bombs down. He doesn't necessarily need to force the issue, but he'll spot Sunny backing off. Whether or not he takes advantage of that, or if he just wants to sit to play the time, he has to be determined. He's in the open and makes it work. Bit over-aggressive on the peak, but pays off.
Just when you thought HS had done absolutely everything, what was this? This third kill as well. You'd think, okay, round definitely over. No way they can recover from that. As I said, Croman, a player that was on no one's radar before coming into this tournament, an unknown Norwegian entity, and he's been lights out, I have to say. Nothing especially flashy, but it fits into the team very nicely indeed, and he wins a big clutch here. 3 frags to him with the Silence USP. Brings Dignitas in favour here. 1-0 now for the international lineup. It's going to be Famus's UMPs, getting late, and we'll have a force buy coming in from Penta as well. Tech9's PT50 to the Deagle. Excuse me. Looks like we'll be heading over towards B. This is a full execute. This is good to see. A couple of smokes towards the B side. I'm guessing towards the arch side. Flash over and try and overwhelm whoever's waiting for them. That'll be Fox and Rubino. A deadly duo. Can they live up to expectations here?
Well, Fox this time plays over toward apartments, which was where they weren't really getting information early enough last game. He makes it work, finds a kill. Rubino's going to make sure Innocent Zen punished, and he'll swap to the pistol, make take care of all the rest. So we still have to wait a little bit further. No bomb plants, meaning one more before we get into the gun round, and we'll see what the real setup's going to be.
While we have this round, Matt, let's talk about Big quickly.
Sure.
When you were casting them, right, it feels like one of those teams. We talk about Tabson so much, I think we get caught up in the kind of hype he's got behind him, right? When you see him not really arrive to a game, does that team really do it for you generally? Do you really think they've got any sort of like impact at a major? Do you think they can cause a dent there?
Well, that's why
they significantly drop off, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's why I wanted to see them at the offline qualifier, because I was really curious to see if Tabson could hold his weight at that level, and maybe then they, start to get into something.
Maybe this is a better question. If they lost Tabson, do they still have a team there?
I think it's not as threatening as it is. They still have a team for sure. We've seen God be, I think it almost goes back to sort of the NRG where it's not as exciting. They can be consistent in the mid-levels.
When Tabson was brought in, right?
Exactly.
Remember Counterpit? He brought in, and they was like, oh, wow, this team can actually do something.
Yeah, Legia definitely isn't enough to do it with Gobs. I know they're kind of a package deal. I think more so because Legia is a piece of a puzzle that Gobby knows well enough, and he's willing to play that role.
Yeah.
But I think that, they don't have enough potential on that team to break out at any given time. Nex isn't showing up. Kiev isn't crazy. Tabson literally is the reason they're punching above their weight.
I was thinking, right, when we first started PGL in Romania here, right, it was when Mouse Sports just picked up Nex. And we were commentating Mouse Sports a lot. And Nex was like one of these crazy breakout performance players. We couldn't really believe how good he was in terms of individual aim.
He came in when Nico got removed the first time.
Yeah, right.
I think
it was. I can't think of a single impact in terms of a big round he's had at this tournament. Every other player in that team, I can think of something. Not him though. It seems like he's not having that sort of crazy aim anymore. But regardless, I just want to get your input on that. I think it's interesting to note with that sort of team. But anyway, let's get into this round, shall we? Number 4. It's going to be difficult buy for Penta. No bombs going down for them, so get the AKs out, sure, but lacking utility. So you've got 3 smokes remaining at 1 minute 30. And Croman, we said we liked him as a player. He goes aggressive at the start. And this is the plays I'm looking for, right? They're both qualified now. Sure, there's a lot of money on the line, but still, the pressure's off, in my opinion. They're not here for the money. They're here to qualify. And they're now trying to have a bit of fun with it and show they can be a little bit more audacious with their strategies here. 5 on 4 to keep things off. Lovely work by Croman. That kind of jars the execution potential here. We'll see what happens as Innocent goes in.
Tensky waiting, has let them go by. Croman again is going to get caught in the middle of the site. Thankfully, Tensky's in a position to capitalize. I think Roman needs to find an alternative approach of playing the A site because he seems to get caught between those boxes, and as soon as they rush in, there's nowhere for him to hide. Play forward to sandwich a few rounds, maybe try and sit back on others, but for now, it's Sunny that's going to close it out as they make the entrances count and get Tensky down. He was really the only threat they had in entering to the site.
Well, that was the, I guess, bonus round, we can call it, from Dignitas. Get the 3-0, still have SMGs available to them in the FAMAS as well. So this is the time when the AWP comes in. We know Fox will be buying that weapon. It's a technical pause though, so a chance to kind of calm down here a little bit. Penta, of course, coming down to, I think, 2 versus 1 situation. And the money situation wasn't great in the previous round as well. So they'll be a little bit flustered going into this one. It's round number 5. Definitely get a buy up with the win reward, but AWP will come out for Fox, and we know how good he can be with the AWP. It's great to see him kind of return to this sort of form. Sure, it's only a minor event, but at the same time, this is probably the best looking Fox we've seen probably in the last 2 years, I would say. Like, this reminds me of kind of 1.6 Source Fox, where he was just a superstar player with the AWP and was carrying Portuguese teams. That's when he kind of started to turn heads, really. And now we're kind of just starting to see that once again. He's not stifled by the role he's been given.
Yeah, I mean, for once, I said this before, the biggest criticism that Fox got was during his Kingwin, G2 Kingwin days, early phase. Yeah. When he was actually playing in the support role, he wasn't on the rifle, he wasn't on the AWP, Michael was. So when he actually went back to that, the problem was he'd already developed such sort of a vast amount of criticism that it was hard to overcome that stigma, and he's almost been decent on the AWP. I think lately he is looking much better because he's more assertive. I think he did reasonably well as well, being thrown into a very structured SK team where he had massive shoes to fill, and Fallen did well to kind of implement him on the AWP, but still have it in situations. But is he getting back to his sort of early days, the pre-CSGO days? It's debatable. I think it's getting better. Ooh, HS again.
Well, here we go, opening frag. Jacquim goes down, and it's going to be a fast commitment here from Penta. I like this a lot. Assertive stuff coming in from them. First 2 kills. This might be a safe situation off the bat. They get the first kill in the middle, strike at the A-bomb side, bombs down. I think you have to save. You've got no kits. Save the AWP and the rifles here. So Penta, they're looking very good here since the gun rounds begin. And they had a game plan. They stuck to it there. First kill comes in. HS, another player, a breakout performance. We've always discussed this. We've saying this about the Americas minor. That's why these events are so cool, because players we get to watch that we don't necessarily follow in the big events, right? HS, I don't think many people would have heard of, and I kind of followed him in the UK scene years ago when he was playing the UK kind of pro league and stuff like that. He played for a team called United Estonia, and he seemed amazing back then, but it was really hard to gauge how good he was considering he's just playing against a kind of low-level UK teams. But
we'll pause, by the way.
We do.
We've lost, although misleading by the HUD, Sunny's been moved over again. Remember, it's numbered, so they get slotted in based on the graphic. We've lost a player from Dignitas. We have lost Jacquim. It's like his gangster name, you know?
Yeah.
I could picture him like super baggy jeans, probably black chain. I meant black jeans.
Yeah.
I meant black jeans. Clarification. I meant like the black jeans with the white stitches and the deep, deep pockets. Probably not cargo pockets. Got the silver chain.
That's so good.
And do-rag.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. He's back in the server now. We're moving swiftly on. And we're going to have the AWP saved, a couple of M4s as well. So they'll probably force around. This is the exact situation I was describing in the analysis desk earlier when I got asked the question from the audience as, is the UMP still viable? And I said absolutely yes, because in these sort of scenarios, you've got 2K on 2 players that didn't save weapons. They can buy UMPs, armor, all their nades for about 3 grand. So it's, you hate to see it, but that's the world we live in these days. And they'll have a pretty decent buy going into round number 6 here. Penta probably aware. To a default for them. Bomb's still down at T-spawn. Crystal holding it over to the A-ramp. Sunny patrolling the apartments area. And it's going to be AWP in the hands of Fox, of course. He's towards jungle for now. Bit of B presence coming in from this area. Just trying to flush out any CTs who might be tucked away in that corner. Won't be finding anything just yet, but this is a big round. If they can win this, definitely get Dignitas into an eco. Dignitas desperately trying to hold on to their weaponry here.
Jacob inside of the site. Going to play a much different setup. Fox being over toward Catwalk. Instead, he rotates back at window, but they have a crossfire set in B, so they're trying some other tactics. But whether or not they go that way, looks as though they will, but it's up for debate. Smoke down, they can push through that, but timing off, and the fact that SMG that was on top of the van couldn't hold the angle because it's fallen inside of the site at exactly the wrong moment. It's Jacob that's got punished for it as well.
This is looking promising once again for Penta. First 2 kills coming in. They can't do anything about this. 3 in total now. 5 players surviving for Penta. Very simple play towards B, and this is what we've come to know from Penta. I have to say, Zen as well, another finished player within this tournament. We've got 7 in total, and he's looking fantastic. He was quiet in the early stages, but since the tournament's developed, he's looked fantastic, and Sunny, he's looked amazing throughout. So fair play to them. They're quite the tag team duo. And we'll go into round number 7. We tie things up, 3-3. Dignitas now have to eco, of course. They've got third stage loss bonus, which means $2,400, and that's all they've got to work with here. So some upgraded pistols, that'll be about it. Fox buys a Deagle. Got a bit more money compared to the others, considering he saved a couple of rounds ago. So that comes out. And in terms of your CT approaches with these sort of rounds, you can maybe push into Palace, try and get the first pick with a close range encounter, maybe push up middle as well. You can see Jacobs towards the underpass, or Jacqueline, and he'll be hearing players running past him, and he could get the backstab on them. They will not win the round as Sunny lights up the B-bomb site once again. 2 in total. Rubino doing what he can, but gets 1 kill. We'll go to Jacob and see whether he can do anything about this. Anticlimactic because he gets taken down by Crystal there. Just Tensky now, the last remaining player. 5-7 in hand, and he'll actually be towards the short area right now.
$5-7. For the exits. Sonny on 22 HP. Will likely not exit this direction. In fact, he's already heading through the apartments.
Penta looking very good right now. Just quite simple, calculated team play. There's choosing bomb sites and strategies and going with them. First gun round, get towards A. 2 smokes, flash over, see what you can do. HS finding entry kills all over the place. Sunny starting to look good now as well. Same story with Zen. We just get Innocent turning up as well. We might have a very formidable side on our hands. Dignitas, to be fair, they were struggling with their CT halves in general. They looked much better on the T side of Mirage, I have to say. So they're all, so far, they've only won the pistol and got the 2-round conversions from that. So you have to post a gun round, another chance here. Could bring out the double AWP. I think it's unlikely. They don't seem like they're that comfortable with that scenario, bringing the double AWP out consistently. I'm sure they probably can just about. I'm trying to work out who that would be in the secondary AWP. But for now, number 8, 4-3. What's the player? No kits once again from Dignitas. Really need to start getting some rounds here. 3 towards A. 2B, of course, nothing in terms of initial aggression. We've got Fox looking towards the A ramp, and he may get an encounter with Innocent. Doesn't look like he will. Crystal watching middle. And Sunny once again. How sick is this guy? We don't quite catch it, but he manages to walk in towards the Palace area and take 2 down, tapping them away with the AK-47. That's so brutal.
That's actually insane. HS is firing on all cylinders as well.
He's another player, right? That's what we say the miners great for. Even if your team doesn't do particularly well, you can show the world how good you are. This is kind of nuts. We've seen Tabs performing amazingly, Sunny looking lights out. It's great for these kind of lower-tier players. Cello, yeah. If you go
in the Americas.
Last week, yeah, absolutely. Yell, going there.
I like Yell's name. It just makes me want to yell. It's also a shout-out to a French band.
Yeah, okay.
Yell. Jacob's going to try and pull it back. AWP is still in the hands of Crystal as Jacob picks up an AK-47.
Yeah, if we can get the replay on Sunny's entry kills, I'd love to see that. 3 in total. Sounded pretty crispy, I have to say. But another gun round slipped by the wayside for Dignitas. Jacob will be saving the AK-47. Got incendiary smoke as well, so nice little haul of utility to take to the next round, but he'll be going down as well. HS, another good shot for him. 3 players surviving from Penta. That looking pretty brutal here. Has to be an EK for the CT side, I'm afraid. So they can do a partial buy though. It'll be the Deagles, 5.7s, body armor, some nades. I would say instead of doing a default setup, let's bring something to the table, shall we? Let's maybe stack B, push up middle, pushing towards Palace with 2 players. It's something to get that first pick, get an AK, and try and see what's possible. That would be nice.
So Sunny pushed up with a MAC-10. is in a good spot to pick up some few kills. Look at that shadow. Wow. Through the smoke and everything. I really think they need to just get rid of shadows. Just do it.
They suck, don't they? If you can see your own shadow, I think that's the balance. But I think the editing limitations.
I mean, even that one though, like you see a smoke and bottom of mid, boom, big shadow. Like that one would be hard to doubt. That's pretty legit.
3 HEs.
Sorry, Tensky. Thanks for playing. Zen's got Fox down 6-3, doubling up. So Dignitas not getting the run. To be fair, their CT side was a bit of the problem for them as well against Big. Remember, they went 9-6 on the T side.
They look much more comfortable on this map on the T side. They look lights out there. They're very fast, and this is the problem, I guess, with this team being so fresh. Like online games, they can maybe get a CT start, win a pistol, post a decent amount of rounds, and then hopefully convert on the CT side. But double orb setter comes in, so it's Rubino that'll be going with the secondary orb. I was kind of speculating as to who it could be earlier. He'll take it towards B. Known to be an orber, but I'm sure he can be proficient. He'll be boosted in the B side right now with a bench position. We see this quite a lot these days. But it's another A-sided attack map. Set P's coming in, and it's only Croman to defend. They've got all in with that boost, and here we go. It's the final commitment. How does he hold them off?
Tensky, the good shot at least, but you're right. The problem is they've left Croman in this position so many times. At least this time he's not so far forward that he's going to get caught off. Zen takes out Fox. It's more in their favor. Croman's still in it. Flash through. Oh, Zen's going to walk into 2 though. No way he gets a kill. Thinks he can. Jacob was ready for it. Croman didn't even have to consider it.
Smacking his own head there. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was a bit silly, I'm not going to lie. Bit zealous. Innocent though does still have the position toward A main. They want to walk in, they have to go by him. He peeks out correctly. On Palace, but Jacob's actually, I take that back, there's no one in Palace. Gotten that same shot, and Rubino's going to take down Crystal. So the retake works, and I have to say, a lot of that for a change, instead of having Croman in this site getting caught out when he's left alone, just give it up, play the retake on A.
Yeah, that's fine. It's better to stay alive and wait for the rotation for your teammates than just getting completely wrecked by yourself when you're trying to go for the 1-on-4 spray down. It doesn't really make sense to try and do that. He challenged for a little bit, and what are you putting out?
Rubino double up means I likely expect him to push the one into B.
He had the orb last round.
Right, I didn't notice it last round, I'm sorry.
So
I was a little bit lackluster, but I expect him to push into B anyway, Henry.
No, he was in B, but he boosted up on the bench last round. So that's what they'll probably do again, he wasn't spotted before. So yeah, he'll boost up on the bench again. But thanks for being with us, Matt.
You're welcome, I'm here in spirit. It's good to be here. It's a real pleasure, Henry.
It is. It's nice to have you here.
Always a pleasure. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to cast some Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Let's get into it. HS very fast towards the window at this point. He does get in undetected. No Fox this time. He's normally patrolling this area. And he'll just hold up. This is nice. He's undetected. Tensky keeps checking it sporadically, but has no idea the player's already up. So that could be a problem. If they win this round, sure it'll be a reset. We did keep, I think, 4 players alive in total. 4. It was 3, sorry, for Dignitas in the previous round. Still that double orb set up. The boost goes down, and now Rubino just watching the B apartments, not pushing in quite yet. But at this point, Penta with the player in towards the window position, they're just hoping a mistake comes in. They know they're undetected, so they're just hoping that maybe a CT comes for information. This might be the play. There it is. Good timing. Tensky does eventually go down. This will be the fast strike towards A, I'd imagine. Where's Sunny coming from? I love to watch him play. He'll be coming from the Palace area. Fox, though, to defend. Jacob goes down. This is looking like another Penta round here. Very good stuff. I'm actually a big fan of this team generally, but Fox, he will actually take down Crystal. A chance here as Rubino chimes in with the secondary orb as well. This double orb setup seems to be working for them.
Fox is trying to get the shots through Box. They haven't crossed over just yet. He expects them to do so sooner. Takes a different angle to take down Sunny, but Innocent already far too close. Rubino trying to spray the Box with the op. 2 versus 2. Croman's going to try and slip up this time. Zen's ready. AWP watching top stairs. Looks a little bit like Lucas Auer. Does Zen. He's gotten found out by Croman, who heard him scope back in as they flashed him off the angle as well. But Innocent rotated back around through the vents, and it's going to work out. So Penta get control of the situation in what would have been another retake for Dignitas, but as such, money is gone.
Oh, this powerhouse Innocent stepping up down to 2 versus 1. It seemed like a very convincing Penta round, to be fair. And I think Dignitas a little bit gutted down to 2 versus 1. Managing to bring it down to that situation, but he's very good with the AK spray, I have to say, after watching Innocent a few times in this tournament. Fox finding the first few picks to make the retake possible, and they probably should have closed it out as well, but there it is, the final play from Innocent. manages to get that final headshot as well. So it has to be an eco at this point. We did win 2 rounds in a row. Oh, actually, it was only 1 round for Dignitas. They needed to string a few more together. This reset's pretty harsh with that double orb purchase. We'll be able to buy the next one just about $1,900. Got about 2K per player right now. Won't be the best of buys. There'll be UMPs, Famouses, M4s. Don't think they can bring an orb out. There'll be no CZ body armor. And Penta know the money's wrecked. They're not fully committing this time. Just going to be holding up, looking for the first pick. We have got a little stack towards the palace area. Croman and Rubino looking in that area. There's Jacob though with Desert Eagle. Can be a very deadly weapon on Mirage.
Jacob backing off with the Deagle set for Fox to cover off. No one in mid, completely giving it up. Penta hasn't put as much pressure there as Big did. Careful how I pronounce Big did. Just to be clear, Henry.
Don't worry, I know what you meant.
I know you know what I meant. That's the problem. Jacob can't hit the shots. There's HS. Get an HS with the AK as Innocent will get Fox. Also gets Tensky.
Well, this round's over. Bomb down towards B. It'll be Croman and Rubino holding on to CZ. Doesn't really benefit from keeping it. Oh, a lovely little Molotov used there by Crystal. That's going to be an instant kill for Croman. Down he goes. And Rubino, the last remaining player. Now another clean sweep of Penta. Their money must be spiraling out of control right now. 10K on Zen. Similar story for Crystal as well. That's before they've even won this round. So they're going to have money for days here. Not the same story for Dignitas. Another poor CT half map. Remember, they just won the pistol as well. They got the 3-0. This is pretty much exactly what happened against Big as well. They had that good start and then kind of starts falling apart for them. We'll see whether they have enough to get back into this game. It's relatively early days. It'll be round number 13 next, so 3 to go, and we'll see whether they can do anything about that. So I think you take a pause here. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a good call. I mean, remember, they did get 6 rounds against Big and win, but this is a different
beast.
Yeah, Beast is a bit more grueling. I was going to say Animal.
Yeah, I like Beast.
Bestiality?
Well,
yeah,
why would you go there?
Let's stop there.
Well, look, in terms of like the Penta package, like they've got star players that can turn up and frag hard, right? Penta, I think, I think Big are more focused around the strategies and trying to get taps in positions and holding off and that sort of thing. I think Penta, they're the real deal. They've got a lot of firepower here. Like Sunny and Zen combo's great. Crystal, not amazing game for him. He only got 1 frag so far, but he is a competent AWP at least. HS, I mean, Innocent as well. Up-and-coming players seem to be really kind of establishing themselves as the tournament goes on. It's good to see. Ace at execution, why not? You know the money's low for Dignitas. Get in there, set piece off the bat. They won't have an AWP to hold you off. They won't have the incendiaries either. Tensky, he needs to deliver here. We baited in by Croman. Timings could elude them though. Sunny once again. Oh my god, this guy's just an animal. As he comes out of the palace, it's going to be a headshot there for Tensky, but doesn't get much more than a dink. It's going to be a 5-on-3 and another chance to save their weapons with Jacob finding a bit of luck there through the smoke. So we have got a CT in T-Sport as well. I think Sunny goes down. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Fox gets him.
A chance.
Well, they'll rotate back off of it, but Fox is found inside of the TC spawn. TC
spawn.
TC, Terrorist Collective spawn. Counter-terrorist and terrorist collective. So they get him down before they can get anywhere near the bomb site. No kit. They're going to go for the save immediately. Fox wins that duel. Real chance they take the site.
Yeah, it's unlikely though. They don't even have to commit to it, right? Because they know he has to come to the bomb. They hold a really off angle with the AWP as well. They're not going to be missing that shot. So, yeah, sure, if somehow Fox gets it, that might be a possibility. But Sunny going down, got the information. He was going for the long con. He was going to go all the way around the middle and backstab the CT's trying to retake. But he gets information, so it's fine. I'll still win the round. Another rough situation here for the CTs. 3rd stage loss bonus now. Saving 2 weapons. I think at this point they probably need to force these rounds. They need to start getting some on the board. They could go down to 10-4 and aim for 10-5 in general, but let's see if that happens. 2 and 4 saved. Maybe a chance for another pause. The CT half does need to be addressed. You were a critique of the Inferno CT setup, and you seem quite impressed with what they produced today.
Yeah, it's been a lot better. There's no question about it. I'm an easy man to impress, but a hard man to please.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I've not been pleased with their CT performance so far, whatever that means.
Just a lofty statement. Just take that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's you think of that what you will. HS has done well to get Chroman. Innocent on 12 HP, but HS is already up toward the window. He's been opening up a lot of space.
He really has.
Fox down as well. Hold off. Okay, give him the. Let him go, boys. Get him the ace, because he's done everything else. All right, okay, why did you have to ruin it, Rubino? We're gonna have some fun with that one. No one likes a party pooper. Crystal's gonna put Rubino down.
Well done. Round number 15 coming in. Double orb set up to save the day for Dignitas. Rubino and Fox once again. 4th stage lost bonus means they don't get the full buy here. You can see Rubino with no armor and Fox. No kits. Well, that's a story across the board, really. The replay. HS, as you said, he's been one of those players who seems to be developing every single map we see him get into. And this might be the fast B play. I can see 3 players towards the apartments, maybe going towards underpass, it seems. Getting the first pick once again. That's the orb gone. Well, at least one of them.
That's deep. Trying to HS get. Oh, just barely back through the smoke. Could have been costly, but manages to stay alive. That brings Jacob into it, but he's late. Can't capitalize on the fact that they were exposed on the stairwell and actually goes down. So now the defense are very thinned. Palm's going to rotate back around to the A side as well because they still have Zen inside of the middle, so they can actually try and take the site. It is Chroman again that's there.
Just a note as well, map. Dignitas has picked this map. And we do move on to Inferno next. To be fair, it's in their wheelhouse still, so they'll be fine. But just to kind of let that sink in. Penta looking pretty indestructible right now. It's going to be the final round here. 3-on-3. Tensky low HP. So a couple of kills coming in favour of Dignitas, but still a little work to do here. Bombs still to be planted. We're still looking towards T-Spawn. I think this is a kill. Oh, okay, I thought Tensky was going down there, but he manages to step up. And this should be the round for Dignitas now from what I can see. But what a shot from Crystal. Gets him right back in this round, now down to the 2-on-2.
Certainly a shot that works. He just did hit Chroman through the box. That's actually super sick.
Look how low he's gone.
Yeah, 5 HP. Good luck. 1 versus 2. Wants back in. Crystal's got it with no mistakes. 11-4 is a very good half, I have to say. Dignitas were good on their T side against Big. We'll see if they can echo that sentiment again in this game. It's going to be a long and large order.
Just to reiterate as well, they won the pistol dangle 3-0. 1 gun round coming in. That was a double orb setup.
Yep, it's true.
Which it wasn't even a clean round. Rubino had to go nuts with the orb retake coming in. So no convincing gun rounds at all. Just 1 retake, that was it, and the pistol. Whenever I say that, I just want to kind of make sure it's clear that I don't think pistol rounds are easy to win. You can't take a match away from that. Like, it's still great they won it, but in terms of Counter-Strike, generally as a team, winning 1 gun round is not a good performance generally. Here we go then. Same old pistol. Everyone's running the same strap. 2 smokes towards A, 3 in Palace. Allow them to get some control. Hope for the best. This comes out to Jules. The CTs will know it's coming. And it's up to Crystal to bait in Zen. I think we should probably follow him. We'll see whether he can step up here, as they will fully commit.
Under the shadow position will get taken down by Fox. Crystal managed to kill beforehand, but it is going to be Dignitas that get the opening, and they want to fight for their control. Want to fight for their right to partay. Henry.
Yeah, that's good.
Came up with it.
Keep those one-liners coming.
Actually sold that to the Beastie Boys. Never gave me credit, never paid me. I don't know why. HS wants his payday. He's going to go toward Tensky, but Tensky's got the shot instead. That should secure the round. Let's come and make sure Sonny goes down. Innocent. Gets Fox at least. If he had hit the second one, I might have started to give you some excitement. Yelling like I normally do.
Now we have a game on our hands, at least. Both pistols for Dignitas. 3-0 in the first one, if they can convert this. They'll be in a great position. I don't think Penta have to force into the second round. Concentrate on the gun rounds. You've got a huge lead already. Let's not risk anything. Let's not give our money away at all. Looks like they'll maybe just get PT50s, considering what to buy. Is this a full eco? This is probably the first ever full eco. Oh, Sonny had to ruin it, didn't he? He got the PT50. I was going to say, the first time in the second round, it's CSGO, no one's ever bought anything. But here we go. Zen will go down. This round doesn't really mean much. Just not getting too excited. They want to get this over and done with. Nothing purchased on the CT side whatsoever. This is good, though. This is everything I've been talking about with you for the last 2 years. People are starting to listen. They're getting it.
They always listen to you, Henry.
Lurpus and I have been banging on about this for about 2.5 years now, and it's finally happening.
I think they listen to Lurpus is actually the difference.
Well, he hasn't got a platform. I've got the platform.
Oh, good point. Yeah, Twitter's not a platform.
No.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that they've
It's
listened
a
to
good
you,
day.
Congratulations.
It's very good there.
I will get you an ice cream later, maybe?
Doing one. It's getting quite sweaty in here.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's always the case with cast, isn't it? But, yeah, I mean, there's decent gelato in Bucharest.
So I've heard.
Sibiu actually has the best ice cream I've ever had. Don't ask me why. Maybe it was just luck, but, like, that hit the spot. Fox going to head toward connector. No one cares about our story, so let's get back to the game, shall we, Henry?
Yeah, your catchphrase.
They get back famously. Get back toward window. Crystal's already passed off and passed out. Passed away. Fox gets the kill. It's Tensky over toward apartments instead. Fox is just going to hold the angle. This is fine. Bomb's going to go down. Round's going to be done. Tensky's going to add some money into that bank account. The 6 Skrilla, as Thorne would say.
I haven't heard him say that in a while.
You know, actually, I've heard that the whole entire economy system, the whole 16K, the payout in each individual round, it comes from the vault on Inferno that Thorne lives in.
He still lives there, does he?
Yeah, it does.
You mentioned that last night. It's kind of bizarre that someone actually made that. Brought out 2 weeks of their life, committed to that thing.
Yeah.
But
they remade it when they did the new one, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, here we go. Like we said, Penta, they're very frugal, I have to say, in the second and third round. Nothing invested at all. You love to see that. Got the lead. Potentially an underdog here, I guess, considering the names available in the Dignitas roster. Want to prove themselves and book themselves a place in the grand final. Here we go. All for Crystal, of course. They'll be looking towards the A ramp. And is it going to be an execute coming in? Set piece from Dignitas. We know they're good on the T side. Here's the final play. Nice and early. Let's do it.
HS, good timing out underneath, but stuck in the flames. He can't really do much more. He's a little bit indecisive about it. Indecision is the death of all. It's now going to be Crystal, 24 HP. That has to back away at CT as the smoke goes down and concede the plant. Innocent does get Ravino on retreat from the bomb. But watch for Jaquim, who is trying to lurk, to be punishing through an open position at connector. Innocent could trip over it. I think he's expecting someone must be there. So he'll peek it, or will he? He just leaves his back open to it. So Jacob's got the shot. Information gathered, no less, but this late in the round with the defuse that needs to come in. Molotov, oh, smoke first, though. They could actually get on top of it, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, that kill alone was enough to secure the round.
Yeah, now we have got a game on our hands. 4-0, we know they can be powerful on this T side. Nice set piece, kick things off there. You can see this is where they've really come into their own. This is their kind of set strategies, calling stuff off the bat. Rubino, new in-game leader. It's difficult to call the real on-the-fly stuff and manage to kind of orchestrate everything you want mid-round. So that does make sense. First gun round, let's just calling this. We're going to do that set piece of strategy. I'm confident in this strategy we have. See if we can work. It's going to be Rubino down to the Mac 10, the in-game leader. Trying to farm some cash here. I'd struggle a little bit. They have got some body armor, but he's aiming for the head only, so I guess it's fine. As we enter round number 20 here. Full eco pretty much, full Penta. Some Deagles. 7s, that's about it. First kill for Fox. Starting to get into swing of things now as we close the score gap. It's going to be 11-9 after this round. Once you get to double figures, that's when it gets really interesting. So they have on both pistols here. I guess at this point you have to think, well, at least we've got that going for us. We know the T-side's good. They should be able to walk away this round, but it's going to be Sunny finding a Deagle headshot. He is an absolute villain with the Desert Eagle. Oh my god, it's happening.
It is certainly happening. Zen bombs beside him. Don't pick it up just yet. Take the fight. Rotation's a long way off. They didn't pick up the bomb, even though Jacob walked directly over it. I would have thought at that point you may pick it up in case you get the kills, and you've got the time to go for the plant. They've got to go back for it now. Crystal get a lot closer. Crystal close indeed before the plant goes in. Could absolutely deny this, picking up a gun as well. There it is. They had the bomb in the first time around. It might have been down on the ground by now, which would have benefited Jacob in this 1v1. As he's going to pick it up, head to the window, and yeah, that's the right call. Off to it. Hey, he got tagged by that, but only just a bit. Now, here's the question. Jacob just sit and wait?
Nah, you go for the, you know you've got so much time here. You can get any plant you want down. Reposition. Once that bomb goes down, he knows Crystal probably doesn't have a kit in this sort of eco. Open plant, he can go absolutely anywhere. Maybe CT spawn if he wanted to. And he might just sit sandwich here. I don't think he's been spotted. Crystal, I'm not 100% sure. No, he would be pre-firing by now, so he doesn't know Jacob's there. That should be round over, unless he does check this. That'd be absolutely nuts. Oh my god. Matt, what can you say about that one?
Yeah, Crystal's looking pretty sweet. Just gonna get them their 12th round finally. I shouldn't say finally. It's not like we've been on this half for that long, but considering they lost the gun round and had themselves in this dilly of a pickle.
Carly kind of played himself there. So, like I said, he had all the options in the world. Open plant, he can go Palace, Shadow, Firebox, ARAM, Tetris, and he goes Sandwich as well. Well, you're vulnerable, right? So that's the only position out of all of those, Sandwich, where someone can walk up those stairs and just blow your head off like you've seen them. That's the only position you've got to go when he's vulnerable. Otherwise, he knows he hasn't got a kip. He can sit ARAM, fire off a few shots, bait out a defuse, and just toy with him. It was a kind of a cool idea. If he walks straight past him, it looks great, and there's no criticism, right? But I think of all the positions, that was the riskiest one he could have chosen. So, Penta sneak around back. 12-8. Should have been 5-0 for Dignitas here, but thwarted against the pistols there. Sunny with the deagle is just nuts, isn't it? Execution. This is more of the same. Like, talk about their good tee offs. They do rely heavily on these kind of initial set pieces at the very start of rounds.
Already in and cleared out Shadow as well as the ladder from Tensky, even though the smoke's inside a Palace. He'll do all that work for his teammate. His teammate being Fox, who wants to sit and make sure that the AWP is in position to cover off the retake from jungle, specifically at the top of the stairs as it sits right now.
Here he comes.
Sunny already getting in through T-spawn though. They've got to go back to push him off to make sure he doesn't go into Palace so that Fox can still continue to hold this angle. They've done that successfully, but they're going to leave the site. They're going to send one on a full rotation to middle. That's Rubino. And Tensky comes back over to take face with Fox. I'm surprised. Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, isn't been dealt with and is now from inside of the site with the utility. Smokes down. Oh, he's got it lined up. He's almost got it. He's got the kill. Croman's got them both through the smoke. I take it back. He actually only got the one. Tensky followed up due to the damage, but it's enough for them to win the round. I thought for sure they had it in the smoke.
Absolutely brawl towards the end there. Very chaotic, but I love it. That's what we wanted to see in this game. It looked like Dignitas were done for. The retake was good. We had Sunny coming from T-spawn, finding their first frag, isolating them there on the A side itself. But somehow, out of nowhere, the smoke on top of the bomb gets sprayed down by Croman and co, and managing to pick up a couple of frags there. Fox staying alive in the Palace area, gets the final frag. And now, full reset for Penta. We're back to the situation we were in before. It's going to take them a couple of rounds to stabilize. Fox gets the first shot. He goes towards that A-ramp position. HS crossing towards connector, gets taken down. 5 and 4. At this stage, it's just a matter of time before Dignitas take this round and do find double digits, like we said. That's normally the point where Penta started to get a bit worried. Just seeing that at the top of the scoreboard there, but Crystal and Innocent remain here.
Croman. AK in hand, we'll have Jacob down below. Innocent will peek out. And how is that always the case with pistols? Peek out exactly when there's always a nade in someone's hands. Jacob goes down. Croman as well will continue to fight on, but Innocent can rotate around. Not much in it. They've only got one kill, although I say that this is how you play reverse firebox. And that's how you die, because you only have a pistol.
Yeah, it's nice just to have all those terrorists in front of you. It's quite tantalizing, but unfortunately, with the silent USP, not the most ideal weapon. So, money starting to get back in towards Penta's favor here. One round on the CT half. Both teams struggling with the CT half, has to be said. Crystal starting to find a few kills here and there with the AWP. As we get into round number 23, it looks like they might go the full distance. Penta 12, Dignitas 10. Now anyone's game. Strategy. Set piece once again, Matt. Like I said, you can see Rubino, like, it's working, sure, that's fine, but this is quite rare to see over and over again the same execution. Maybe they're going to throw in a fake of it this time. Jacob does go back towards T-spawn. Okay, I do like this. A variation. I thought he was going to commit with it. But actually sending the bomb back towards the apartment, sending Rubino by himself. This is quite cool. This is actually a nice adjustment by him.
Push through the smokes as well. Zen at B could actually foil a lot of the plans from Rubino to flank if his timing is right, because Rubino's actually got himself in toward window. It's perfect lurk. Sunny's got him down, though. I thought for sure Rubino wins that. And now Zen strikes, flashes in perfectly timed. Penta, little pop flash as well. Gets AWP. Goes down, oddly enough, but still in control of the round because it's just Croman. It's just Croman, but apparently he's a hawk.
Bird puns.
Glad you liked that one, Hank.
That
was for you. It's not quite the vulture, though, is it?
I was going to say. I was wondering if that was coming in. So that's Dignitas. Like I said, it seems like Rubino's style of calling right now is just like, he's got like maybe 5 or 6 strats he's got to work with, and he's saying, okay, guys, we're doing this. It's not like traditionally, especially the way CSGO is right now, you're doing defaults and then you're going into set pieces after that. You want to kind of bait out some utility first, go up against CTs. That was a variation that they execute. Rubino goes in, they give that towards B. Didn't really do much in terms of the sale though. Rubino died, didn't see that Penta bought it at all, and there we go, round number 24. Penta's still feeling the burn a little bit though. As you can see, they've got Famous. They keep only 2 players alive in the last round, so Dignitas have a chance once again to fully reset them, and that might be when we tie things up. If they win this round, it's double eco for Penta. That could be 13-13. Could be.
Could be. Wow. Innocent. Sitting in the ladder room. Is actually in the right position to control the window position, but he's let Jacob get in there undetected because he's wary of the fact that they're going to wrap around on catwalk. So he has no idea that they've gotten this, and he could actually walk into it if Jacob's patient enough. Fox gets HS. That will allow for the bomb plant, as Jacob does get Crystal, and I think Innocence realized that he's kind of made an error by being too passive. Low HP. Zen. Mouse just glitch.
Yeah, the old classic Intelli 3.0 bug coming in there, maybe? Not sure. Well, that's a huge round for Penta to lose. Like we said, the reset was there. Dignitas looking great once again. A split coming through. 2 kills for Jacob on the entry, and Fox with the AWP picks one up as well. Sunny remaining. He probably just has to save his AK. It's not even worth him getting killed at this point. There's plenty of money for the T side. He won't make a significant dent, not at this point in the game. So, round number 25 next, and potential double eco situation. I would say you just force around this. You take a gamble at this stage. You still have the lead. Got the AK there. You're going to be double eco regardless. He can drop a UMP, get some deagles out there. Sunny, you need to go wild. That'd be my call. They don't have to do that, of course. That would be what I'm hoping for, considering the kind of storyline we set up with this game. Both teams qualified. Just money on the line now, but who cares about money? We're here for the glory. As you know, of course. Oh well, there's going to be a stack towards B with 3 players. Sunny with the AK-47 towards short. Looking for some damage here. Looks like a B split. So this could work out. Could get interesting for him.
Molotov in the window. Fox will get down inside of middle to control over toward the position he often played. The AWP in their first match today on Mirage, not so much in this one. Didn't really have the economy to do it in this one. Tensky gets HS. Open up a bit of room on the B side as well as Jacob rotates through the underpass. Croman has Sunny. Zen with a pistol can't do anything to face off against Dignitas, who now have the B site and should have the round, will have the round.
Indeed they will. No single kill picked up by Penta there. Tried to have a little B stack, and it was a B split, so had the potential to find some kills. Might be a pause because, like we said, eco situation all round. Penta not forced into the previous round, they still have to eco here. Dignitas looking to tie things up at 13-13. Just to reiterate as well, this is Dignitas' map pick. Moving to Inferno next. The map pool in this particular best of 3 doesn't really matter that much. They're quite well versed on all 3 maps, both teams, so I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. It's not like they'll be feel out of their depth moving on to Inferno, but Dignitas now, they feel like the more convincing team. Fox once again. That A ramp, same player. It's HS crossing. It's almost the exact same death. That's kind of nuts. Well, gets it once more. 5 on 4. Crystal, for some reason, he's got the old incendiary. He thought that would be a worthwhile investment. We'll see if it works out for him.
Top to top mid behind the boxes. It'll force them back over. Actually, it won't. They're going to be bored of it. They're going to go catwalk instead of getting back down into the horseshoe. Croman's able to take out Innocent as a result. Croman's going to take Sunny, and we have, you predicted it, Henry.
Go on.
13-13.
It's happening. Current scoreline is 9-2. Pause comes in. Tactical of that. Called by HS. Money gunning to Thursday lost bonus after a couple of ecos, like we said, after that devastating reset. Finally got enough to bring out at least the rifles that are all probably problematic. They need to get in the hands of Crystal. He's had a very slow game so far. 8 for 15. And it'd be HS has to drop it over to him. They'd have to kind of micromanage their wealth at that point. Pause time coming to an end, and we'll see whether they can bring the AWP out. I'm not sure they potentially will. I think Crystal hasn't looked good enough to justify this sort of buy. Indeed, they just bring out the rifles at this stage. One kit, 5 and 4s. I want to see something aggressive here. Dignitas are just ravishing them now with their set pieces and their standard A split. The fast plays coming in, since they're very comfortable. Every time they lose a round, they're resetting it straight away. They're keeping it down to a clutch situation at least. Sunny towards top middle. Fox taking down through the smoke. This is better now. We are getting that aggro towards mid. One CT towards top middle. Crystal through the smoke finds the first pick. Sunny could fall back here, but he wants more. Now they have the 5 on 3. Much better.
All down behind the van. It's Innocent at the bench, but he can't land the shots as they jump in. Croman again able to open things up, but Sunny saves the day. Again, a little Sunny side up for you on Catwalk.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. 4 kills for him once more. He's gunning for the MVP of the tournament so far. He's looked phenomenal. It's great to see him play CS. Like, he's another superstar in the making, I would say. Xavier round number 28, 14-13. Penta take the lead once more. In terms of manpower they've kept alive, 4 players there. So reset still definitely prevalent map, but I guess not as dangerous as it was before. It's still down to about $1,000 per player. So need to either win this round, guarantee it, or keep at least 3 alive. So 1 round away from map point. I think the Taz need 2. They're still off towards short, this time posting himself up in CPL. Default round this time for Dignitas. No set piece off the bat, and Crystal got to hit those. That looked like it was his all day long, and now already misses out on them.
Crystal. The smoke down wants to control the fact that Connector's fairly open, and Sunny's actually occupied trying to watch over toward Palace in the meantime, so while support he can get the better. Also something Dignitas, good job Sunny, wasn't doing. Even though they had players at Connector, they were only watching Connector, not doing anything about the A side, not playing off of each other. Better this time from Penta. Crystal's going to take down Jacob. Back and finds Fox, but leaves his back open to Catwalk. Not only Croman in, but gets taken down from Sunny. It's always Sunny in Mirage Adelphia.
He could have done better with that, I think.
Yep, but I didn't want to because
that's
all it was worth.
Easy one.
It doesn't really have Adelphia in it.
No.
Has to rhyme with Delphia.
You get a struggle there, I think.
Exactly. So I just made up one.
15-13, and it's going to be map point for Penta after what seemed like a half that was spiraling out of control for them. They managed to string 2 rounds together, haven't quite broken the money. Dignitas definitely still gunning for overtime here. 29, and I think back to the set pieces now. That A fake they did before, I wasn't that convinced by. Rubino has to have more of an impact as he goes in. I think they'll just do the smoke off the bat. This could actually look more like a contact play. No one setting up smoke, they're just going to walk in. Could work out. There's an AWP on the other side, I believe. Crystal, yes, CT spawn. Ooh, gets a collateral as well. No, just one.
I thought he was going to. Absolutely, they were overlapped.
It's over.
Sunny and HS, step up. You're right, it is. Crystal and HS go low. Nate's gonna actually take down 1. Crystal's on 19. Sunny's gone to 44 with the nade as well. So Pensky throws a bit of a juggernaut nade, but it's on to Jacob. Sunny's gotten 1 kill, but the Molotov spills over into Sandwich. He's forced out. Are they shooting at each other in Connector right now? They're just spamming. It looked like they were tripping over each other. He has bomb in A. But I think Dignitas are gonna come up 1 shy. Penta's gonna go up 1-0. Put them in a position where they can work toward the grand final. It's clever, Jacob, but it's a bit desperate to use that gap at this point.
Yeah, they're not going to push into you until you plant the bomb now. Be an absolute nightmare, anyone for a cheeky face, as you would say. Towards CD Spawn, knows he needs to find a frag here. Can't just plant the bomb, he'll be absolutely done for. Molotov towards left hand side of CD Spawn, trying to flush anyone out. Needs that pick, he knows it. It feels like it's coming to its logical conclusion now. Down to 11 HP, might as well type kill. Gets 1 kill there, but I think that's going to be it. Flash is over. Really a decent effort. Playing his heart out.
Definitely giving it his all with 21 seconds. The headshot to Crystal would have been enough. Bomby's just got to plant it, and they're rushing. Everyone's rushing! And they've got him.
That's why you're the best caster.
I build it up as they run.
Yeah, you tell the story and then you really deliver the punchline there. Yeah, really well, there it is. It feels like that should have been the result there. Dignitas definitely on the comeback in the second half. You have to agree that that was looking very good. but you can see the limitations they have. Very focused on set pieces at the very start, going for those executions. And I don't know, after winning the pistols as well, they got 6-0 in terms of pistols and conversions. That's great. It takes skill to get that right, but still, in this sort of matchup, when you're quite equal in terms of the oppositions, you should be winning those games. Like, you get to 16-13, but after the first half, I felt like they were kind of outgunned. They got one gun round in the first half, and I think Penta did deserve the victory. It's Dignitas' map pick, and you know what? Maybe we should just leave it there.
Yeah, I think we should. I just want to say I do think it's a bit static from their CT side. There's a lot more they could be doing to play off of each other. Similar to what we saw in Inferno yesterday. So, look, again, more changes to be made before the offliner. We'll leave it there, Henry.
Okay, let's do it. Over to you, Paul.
Thanks very much, Henry and Matt. Of course, head back to the commentary booth for Game 2. We've got Harry and Thorin back at the desk to analyse Game 1. 29 rounds in there as well. Thorin, in the end, Penta got there. It looked quite comfortable for them early on.
Yeah, I thought they were the better team overall on the map. Like, this is actually an example of one of the few times I've seen them properly tested, because the test was before they've had this even distribution of kills. Like, actually, Sonny's never had to carry a game. He might have like 23 kills. Someone else might have 24, 18, whatever it was. Crystal was non-existent in this game, except for that,
less than 10, I think.
Except for that clip, which like should be on Vac Sucks immediately. You know, like that was online. I'd already be calling.
You're talking about the no-scope Orc just running around the A-bomb site.
It looked amazing, but the idea that that's all he got in the game was, I think that was pretty significant, because the thing was, Sonny really carried him through the hard times, and then Dignitas, again, they had a little bit of a ropey CT side. You wouldn't have expected them to have such a strong T side. You know, I kind of thought the game was cooked at that point in time. I thought, this is a good team on Mirage in Penta. They're going to swap over. They're going to just take care of business. But because certain spots were just getting opened all day long, I mean, Sonny was doing his best, but it's like the old Nico and mouse spots. They can just go to the other site if you're the only one rolling, you know? So this was one of the first times we've seen Penta off a little bit, and I think it's a great sign that they still came through with the win. I mean, Dignitas, they got it going in the second half. They gave it their all. Good fragging from everyone, but that first half was too much, I think.
Yeah, I mean, 4 rounds on your CT side is just not enough. The second it got to that, I thought it was going to be a really quick game. They stepped it up significantly on that T side. It just goes to show you, I mean, if they got, what, 2-3 more rounds, it would have been a completely different story. I just think Penta were the better team across the board. I mean, I was getting a bit antsy there with them on their CT side. I was thinking, are they going to close this out? Could it go to OT? And no, it can't. We found that out fairly quickly. I just think Dignitas,
this is the round.
Yeah,
this is the round. Look,
there's
the flick.
Yeah, but watch this one. We didn't see it. Later on, he did actually no-scope, no Chroman through the box before killing him there.
Yeah, there was a no-scope into the smoke, wasn't it, on the right-hand side? And you and I were just watching, because he was continually bashing the box, and he was actually sitting behind the box, got 3 AWP shots on him, which was pretty crazy.
And that was a bad game. So
yeah, well, imagine what he could do when he has a good game.
Watch this. He has to go full auto style, and again, these are all rounds where Penta could finish the game earlier, when it's really going to reset the Dignitas guys. But I have to say that the most impressive thing about Dignitas through this whole tournament is the level of production from everyone has been pretty good, you know. I mean, some of these players, even when they're in their big teams, they were Rubino was the support player, Fox was the support AWPer, Jacob was a non-existent fragger in the, you know, they've really all managed to get something where it's like they can all do something and contribute.
Yeah, wouldn't disagree at all. And we'll just watch the end of the match highlights right now.
We can see these are a lot of like 50-50 situations. You know, if one guy goes on a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and they had a few of those, didn't they? Throughout the game, not just towards the end, but almost all the way through. Is it a good sign that the Dignitas have kept this close?
It is, like, especially the fact that they weren't just out of the game. Like, I criticised Envious earlier on. If they're on T-side and they start out slow, it's over already for them, you know. They just give up. They start going slower and slower. They don't have anything they can change up. Actually, Rubino has kind of shown this ability to adapt a little bit, change up the tempo. And, yeah, I just think one of the keys is, even though this is their strongest map, so that's a bad sign that you lost it, you know. You probably had to get this one. I do think, in general, having a good T-side on this map is the sign that you're a good Mirage team. Like, anyone, in theory, can get a nice roll going on CT and just live and die off, you know, the enemy making mistakes and you just gun them down. But it's a tough map to get a lot of T rounds on. So that was a positive, I think, taking over. There's no moral victory, though, in CSU. You have to win the maps at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And in terms of Penta's performance, what do you make of it?
Strong once again. But as we've seen from them, right, they're looking good as a team. It's looking well oiled. They had a couple of moments where they looking like they were going to fall short, but once again, I feel like on Mirage, having that good T side is something that they could have stepped away with it from. Both teams actually doing well on the T side, which is weird. I mean, it seems to be like on maps where we would expect it to be CT sided, it goes the way of the T side in this, and where it's meant to be T sided, it goes the way of the CTs. It's been very somewhat flipped on its head, but I do think Penta they showed up once again. They delivered early on. And the second you're ahead 11-4, there isn't really much you have to do before you reach the end. And that's already going to put Dignitas in a bad state of mind. I have to kind of commend them, though, for actually bringing it back, making it competitive. I was really worried it would have just been, 16-5, 16-6, something like that. But no, it finishes off a hell of a lot closer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's something you have to give them credit for. They do make it entertaining.
Okay. Let's take a look at the MVP for this particular match. The opening MVP.
Don't think that's a surprise.
Is, no surprise whatsoever, was what I was going to say, indeed. I mean, the guy had a monster game and dropped to 30 as well. A couple of retakes in there. 8 of the opening kills, 9 trade kills for an ADR of 104.07. Impact rating 5.64. Great game again. And as you said earlier on, we haven't needed him. His team haven't needed him to step up. This time they did, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great quote. I love to follow that Twitter account. It's just like coach quotes, where it's like classic.
Me too.
They had a great one on there today where it said, like, a great player can win any game. The idea, in one game he can take, but it said a great team can win every game. And so actually, even though obviously in the context of this tournament only, Penta's been one of the better teams, that's the key. They haven't had to just sit back like Tabson does on Big and say, you have to carry us, otherwise we might lose this game. They can have a game where he's just chilled out. He does a little bit of something, maybe wins a clutch, a few kills. And then now, when he has the big game, now he can save you or he can put you over the top and help you dominate someone. That's a really positive sign because I've seen way too many of these Tier 2, Tier 3 teams where they get like a Tabson or an Oscar, whoever it might be, and it just becomes their show. Like if they're on, okay, maybe a chance. But good teams aren't like that. Even the best teams in the world. Cold Zero is one of the best players ever, but it's not just him going off that means SK wins the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check in with our social media thread. We haven't had any social media questions for a little while. Do keep them coming. We might squeeze a few more in before the end. Depends how long this one goes. Could be a 2-map, and we don't know. What do you think will have more... Let's start that one again. Yeah. Which do you think will have more upsets, offline qualifier or major?
Just from history, I'm going to have to say offline qualifier. I mean, for a start off, where was Flipside in the CIS major? They make it every major no matter what form they're in. So it shows you that the offline qualifier always has some guy that you think, hey, they could do pretty well if they made it to the big tournament. They don't make it. NIP, for example, they actually were coming off a win in Oakland, didn't make it. Meanwhile, a team like Hellraisers, where you're like, oh, that was the Oscar show. Oscar's not there. Yeah, they're done. Oh, they're right through to the major. So I feel like at the major, there's a reason why those legend spots are very rarely occupied by underdog teams. The pressure there is immense. So for me, the qualifier is where the teams are kind of on even ground. You get to the major, that's where, if you're not a great team, it's real tough to go deep in those.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were talking earlier backstage. A team like Tyloo, for instance, who've got this Penta, we watched him in the Asian mode, absolutely terrific. And it's okay ripping people up at that level.
Sure.
But then let's see him at the offline finals. If he rips people up there as well, and they end up going to the major on the back of him, then you start going, that's a big surprise. We wouldn't have expected him to do.
And then people start watching you.
Absolutely.
People start isolating and going, hey, let's figure out how we
Yeah.
neutralize this guy. So that's why there's rungs on the competitive ladder, Once you show yourself to be good, everyone's like, cool, let's just spend our time breaking down how to destroy you. You're like, oh, you have to be 2 times better to get to the same level. It's tough. It's tough out there.
No, that's what they did eventually to SK last year, wasn't it? It took them a little while before they started doing it, but they finally did it.
Yeah, and I think as well, I mean, as you said, there's so many great teams, and if you're just a good way to look at it, right? There's so many great teams in the major, and it's hard enough for them anyway. If you're, one of the teams coming up from the qualifier, you're already arguably not going to be one of these great teams. So if the great teams that are in there are already struggling, and you're kind of coming in as the underdog to begin with, then I mean, I don't really see many people from this going on to do spectacular at the major anyway.
Hold on, though, because we've got Dignitas, right, who played in open qualifiers 1, 2, 3, and the closed qualifiers, and here of now going to the offline final. If they get through the offline finals, they'll have played in 6 qualifiers just to get into the top 16 of the major.
It shows they got drive, but it's like...
You're just going to wipe that away?
No, I'm not going to wipe it away. I'm just saying, whack them in a ring with someone like Astralis. Who do I think is going to win? It's Astralis every day of the week. So.
Hello. Yeah, I can take a call from Michael O'Dell. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, that guy's a shitbag. Yeah, I know he is. I've told him before. I'll send him over, right, for some beatings. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Ooh, harsh.
I mean, seriously, come on, man. You're going to upset Odie here.
We were actually speaking earlier. You were saying you were a nice guy, Red Eye.
No.
And now,
where did you get that rubbish from?
Yeah, no. This is a change of branding.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more, so let's check in with the questions again. Which players would be great guest analysts and casters? or casters.
I mean, the cheat is you just pick people who we've already seen. So, for example, Sean Getz is always dynamite whenever
Fabulous
he's there.
on desks.
Very charismatic guy, knows the game, incredibly dreamy eyes. You could just fall asleep looking into it. So, sorry, guest analysts, right? Not best friends. Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
I mean, I would usually just go with the in-game leaders. I like for example, he might not be the most charismatic guy. I like MSL. I think he always has an interesting. Like Carrigan's fantastic.
Carrigan's
Sadly,
brilliant.
you can't get off these guys. They are like playing in the final in most of these tournaments.
It's inconvenient, isn't it? It's
isn't
like playing in a major.
I
What
mean,
do you mean you're
come on,
playing
mate.
in a major?
Start losing, will you? So you
Yeah,
can come on the
stop
desk
being
with
bad.
us. Yeah.
You want you to come over. What about MBK over the years?
He's always been a classic. I mean, obviously, especially because he's very comfortable speaking English. You know,
Yep.
he's done a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I think he's a pretty good. Nothing. Also another good
Yeah,
one.
Jordan's been brilliant over the years, actually. He's done a lot over the years.
Personally, I'd love to see God B from this event.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I think
He's actually done some stuff at ESL.
Yeah, and I think he's very honest and just brutal about everything, and I kind of think that would be really nice to see on a desk as well. I think that would be good.
I think Ruben would be really good as well.
Yeah, Rubino actually is someone who especially
smart.
he's really come along in terms of like articulating himself.
Yep.
You know, you can see he's improving in that respect.
Yep.
It makes sense that as an in-game leader, he's getting better. You know, yeah. Usually, if you notice, I tend to go for the more kind of cerebral players because I feel like to be that good at decision making and you have to be kind of a realistic guy. You know, you can't just think you're the best and you're gonna hit the craziest shot.
Yep.
That's not really the sort of mentality that works. So the in-game leader or the support player, those guys, I love them all day
historically,
long.
we've done that as well, haven't we?
Yeah, usually.
Tommy, we've had on panels
Exactly.
and co-casted with him, and he's always bright as a button. You just get so much more inspiration from him when you're a play-by-play. And BSL before that, again, another
Sure,
cerebral
yes.
kind of player in CS 1.6.
Threat's always a good one.
Threat was fantastic as well. We had him on a number of earlier the CSGO, so all of those have been very good. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm hearing and seeing that the players are headed back to their seats and are getting it ready for the next match. So let's head back to our commentary team for game number 2 in the upper bracket final.
Game number 2, which could be our last of the day, but it's Inferno again. Dignitas, exact same series for them, back-to-back, but much different team to play against. Another test. Banana, Big didn't really challenge it much. Credit to them, they started taking it, which they weren't doing yesterday. But, by the way, I like our reflections on the bottom part of the desk. I always have to say that.
You always have to say it.
Just super ADD moment, but they didn't really challenge it big, so it gave them a lot easier time.
Do we think Penta's going to be aware
Yes,
of that?
Sonny already told me straight up. He said, I have no idea why they didn't challenge Banana. We're going to throw a smoke to the top of Banana pretty much every round and put Fox out of his comfort zone.
Well, look out for that. That's a bit of intel.
Yeah, well, I mean, they tried to do it
Reporting
yesterday.
live from the floor, Mr. Trevor.
Back to you in the studio, Hank.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And it's going to be a great day today. Server conditions looking fantastic. I have to say, it's sunny on Inferno. And,
Ooh.
yeah.
It's nice. That's good.
And it's going to be Dignitas versus Penta in map 2 of the best of 3. It's a semi-final right now. Both of these teams have qualified. So just to kind of set the scene for you, this is all about the money. And sometimes that's the best sort of scenario, I guess. Try and earn some cash. I think it was, what, $50,000 total for this prize pool? It was for Americas, at least.
Yeah, it's 50,000. They're all the same.
Yeah, just want to make
There's
sure.
no favoritism.
Just
I mean, we
wanted
know
to-
NA teams are typically overpaid, but their prize pools are the same.
It's true.
So, yeah, with that said, I'm going to be watching Dignitas' form. It's good to have you here, Henry, because now you can do some real analytical stuff instead of just being harsh the whole game to one particular team for being terrible at what they were doing.
Is that you? Is that what you're doing?
That's what I was trying to do.
Did it work?
How'd
How'd that go
don't
down?
know. We'll get back to you on that one.
You got to be careful. It's a
Let
fine
me
line.
check. Let me check HLTV. They're usually pretty honest about that stuff, aren't they?
What is this Sudoku guy talking about?
Yes, yeah. What is Sandonkinist on about this time?
Yeah. Well, in terms of the map pick, right, this is Penta's pick. So they get to start, or get to, they have to start T-side, really. Dignitas will definitely be starting the CT side. They feel like they've addressed their issues. It looked pretty poor yesterday. But, like you said, maybe Big weren't really aware of the weaknesses available. You said Fox towards B wasn't pressured at all. Does that mean, I haven't got a glass, I can't really watch the big screen. Did it mean Fox, was he AWPing by himself, but not allowing them to have 4 players at the
No,
A side?
occasionally. So they weren't doing that at all yesterday. They were putting 3 out of spawn to put either a mid smoke or a deep smoke down, but then not taking Banana, because as soon as there was any utility put out, Jacob would get kind of out to bags, and that would be about it. And then he'd get segregated from Tensky. They just weren't assertive, and therefore they could never really do either. 2 things would happen. They couldn't rotate a 4th player back to A, or they would think they're about to get engaged on and leave a 3rd player at B, leaving Arch side completely opened, which allowed them to get wrapped on, and then problem ensued. Today, they were either getting Jacob down lower in Banana or putting Fox there in the AWP and getting the 4th player back over to A, which gave them so many more options. They were also getting a little bit more aggressive in the apartments, which we didn't see from them at all on day 1.
Well, good luck, have fun. We'll get into it. Dignitas on the CT side. Penta losing a player very early on. The MVP of the team so far. Sunny goes down, but quickly replied by Innocent there. Brings it to a bit of a stalemate. It's going to be Fox hunting for information there. Very dangerous decision by him. Manages to get away with it, and still going to be the 4-on-4. We do have smokes available. We go back towards Bernard, but look at T-Spawn, sorry. It's going to be Tensky coming in thick and fast, and he's at the T-steps. Can he do anything about this?
Just the way you like. Croman. Flash goes over, smokes go down, but above the smokes is Fox. They don't even consider it, and they get the crossfire set. Croman backing off, has Tensky with him. He's got most of the kills. Actually, take that back. He came from banana. I thought he was the player coming right in from CT spawn. It's just going to be HS remaining. And as a result, well, although he gets one, the round should be done. He's on 11 HP. Molotov to push him out to the right side. And Jacqueline gets the kill.
Easy finish for Jacqueline there. It's going to be 1-0 for Dignitas. That was a little bit uninspired from Penta, I have to say. After they lost that first pick in the form of Sunny, that seems to be their go-to strategy on Inferno, especially T-side. He'll go towards apartments by himself. The rest of the team will be holding up in a particular area, maybe just holding middle, or getting ready to go towards Banana. They're hoping he can maybe find a frag or go for some rotation for kills. He got taken down straight away by Tensky, and at that stage, I think they kind of panicked a bit. They weren't expecting him to die so early on in the round. They will be forced buying into the second here, early days on the T side, and it's going to be Tech9 Deagles, a couple of smokes to work with. Dignitas have struggled with these second round force buys. We'll see whether they can hold on here on Inferno. Flashbang used on the roof there towards the B side of the map, but for now it's going to be Penta. Heading up towards middle. Obviously the closer range weaponry like PT-50's Tech9. Apartments does make a lot of sense. Trying to bleed out the CPs any way they can now. Smokes towards mid, arch side specifically. And they could just force their way up towards quad.
Rubino in the pit's another change they've made. To leave Birdman inside of the site. Fox, Tensky. Fox in tense times. He's gone down as Zen gets the kill with the pistol, but they managed to come out better off for it, and goodbye. Sunny the only one left. Sunny absolutely ripped apart by Rubino in the pit, so it works out for Dignitas to find round number 2.
Certainly does. Sunny, Desert Eagle, normally so scary. Gets one kill, but that's all he can get. Quickly shut down. Fox with a nice flashbang there towards the arch side, managing to find 2 frags, get the information. They've fully committed. They've already expended their utility. Had to go with it. And then finding UMPs all over the place and straight to the face. It's going to be round 3. Looks like a full eco for the T's. I can see 4 HE grenades. It is for his top middle. Hopefully take down someone like Fox. We'll see what happens. Nades. Oh, this could get interesting. There's nades everywhere. Airstrike from the CT and T side, but CT certainly coming out on top. They've got the armor to go with it, so they take minimal damage. Really does go down, but 4 kills in return. Penta now just with Sunny remaining. He's just camping in T-spawn. Hate to see this.
Sunny battling in. Battling on, 3-0 Dignitas. So good start for them on the CT side, but now it's time to see the challenge, Hank. Crystal Glass Cannon, I highly doubt it, unless they're really serious about trying to challenge Fox in that regard, but I imagine they'll do it with utility instead.
No, not at this point in the game, I think. Just get the AKs out. AWP not required on the T side of Inferno necessarily. Guess if she can flick a little 0-3. He was quiet on Mirage as well. He's one of the players not really turning up for Penta in this semi-final. Fox, though, loves the AWP on Inferno. It's quite dynamic and assertive. I think those are the kind of titles we've given him since he's picked up the AWP on this Dignitas side. This time he goes towards the apartments, trying to find the first frag. And he did say they'd challenge towards B. So far, Penta at the top. HS there with Zen as well, pushing Tensky and Jacob back. They're on the bomb site right now. Tensky throws a smoke from CT spawn. That'll be coming in momentarily, I believe. He might just have the flashbang instead. Well, there's a smoke. It does come in eventually. Nice work by HS. There's considerable damage. Can't find the frag just yet, though. Okay, Tensky the reface with 1 HP. That was interesting.
HS gets another as well on entry. He's looked so sharp. Very, very sharp for Penta. Remember yesterday, did have the ace on this map, but was slow in the morning. Better now. Krolman wants to try and re-challenge out toward the top of middle. But look at B site. Round over. Innocent may even just sit back to get more kills than what they've already achieved. 2 in ruins. No one's getting back that direction.
Well, at this point, we've discussed this many times before in Inferno. Throughout the ages of this map, losing the B bomb site with a couple of kills like that means the retake is so difficult. It's like you have to spend everything you've got, risk losing all 3 players, and you've got the lead right now. Your 3-0 up. You've got money to buy into the next round, just about. So you might as well save the AWP. The M4s you've got, there's no point in throwing those away just for the sake of some godlike retake. You might as well play the long game here and invest in your future map. Something I know you're a fan of.
I'm always a fan of everything.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Except for you, most times.
Well, you're in the wrong duo.
It's a good point, actually. I'm in the right duo, Hank. Look at us go. Rubino's going to try and stay in it. Palm off, 5 stay up. AWP saved over, though, for Dignitas to the early call based on the abandonment of B at a fast pace. Means that they'll at least have another chance, another gamble into this round. I won't invest much onto the T side. Stick with pretty much what they had, Crystal included, on the M4.
Oh, Penta. First go around looking promising. You did say they'd pressure towards B. HS. I'm not going to call him an entry fragger specifically, but he's looking very good when he's with the team and going in with them. He's very crisp with that AK-47 especially. Like, it looks fantastic. And challenging Banana once again. You said that he put in that smoke every single time. It's coming in. Atensky through it. He finds one, but instantly replied by Crystal. It's going to be a 4-on-4, which does favour the terrorist team, if you're not familiar with the game. It basically means the CTs now have to spread their defences more thin, and it's going to be Penta, the T side, who can actually group up and exploit that potential thinner bomb site. We'll see what happens here as we go into the 1 minute 20 mark. Jacob and Rubino taking a bit of damage there, both down to about 65. 2 players now waiting, Fox and Croman, all for Fox on the Arch side. Switching his attention between the apartments and Arch. Difficult position to be in, a lot to watch here. Comes down to the timings, it looks like he's ready for it. If a flash comes over, he's done for. And he misses the first shot.
Again, goes for more, though, does get Zen down this time. 2-2 split defensively. They've left Arch open, but no one's pushed up. It's over toward B instead, where Rubino does challenge, but has to back off. Backing off. Gets caught out, but manages at least to kill on Crystal. It's Jacob that could entirely surprise them by going aggressive on the smoke, but only gets one, loses track of where Innocent had stepped.
Here we go, the clutch begins.
Bomb down early. Fox, that's not even the right angle. He wanted to try and spray in and get him during the plant with the AWP, but smoked off. He's fortunate because being exposed, he could have been caught. It's instead going to be Croman rotating back in. Croman's looked better today as well, by the way. Yesterday I wasn't really impressed. And by the way, that's a team ace.
A team ace in 1 round.
Yep.
All 5 kills picked up by the individuals of the team. You can see the skulls next to the names. Round number 6, 4-1 now in favour of Dig. That should be Penta getting whistled down to this one. They are planting the bomb, so they do get another buy here available. Crystal on the AWP this time. We're wondering when that comes down the T side. It seems like he's ready for it now. 4-1. Still a CT side of the fair here on Inferno. Not as biased as it used to be, but still rings true as we get into round number 6 here. In terms of the setup, 3 towards B once again. He did say they'd be challenging it, but they did before, and Crystal, that's even better challenge. Not towards Banana this time, top and middle. Fox, I have to say, when I was watching the game you were casting, it seems like he wants to challenge T-steps all the time. He gets punished a lot of the time for it.
Yeah, that was a big problem yesterday as well. He was doing it too much. And today there was a round in particular when the smokes came out of top mid that he stayed toward Boiler, and no one was even out front with him. So, yeah, it's certainly something to consider. That was a bit of a tragic statement from the Flash because it bounces off his teammate. That means Rubino, that single misplay could catch them out entirely because Rubino's in position. It costs them off. HS goes low. How does he do that? Through the edge of the wall. Rubino caught out. HS on 11. Still has a long way to go if he wants to win round, but the headshot nearly gets there. Thankfully, Jacob takes a step back.
Yeah, good job by
But that whole thing started by a missed flash.
Yeah, absolutely. It got a bit dicey there for them, didn't it? Well, it's HS managing to pick up 2 kills, but that should be the end of the funds now for Penta. 2 rounds going against him. I think that's 5, Penta 1. Fast plays once again and managing to find the first pick on towards the AWP. I thought that was going to be a chance for him to get into the bomb site, but here's HS. Lovely stuff there towards the library area, taking down Rubino. Number 7, it's going to be PT50's Deagles. 1 flashbang. And a chance for them to keep 5 players alive, Dignitas that is, as we the setup for the T side. Not going to have too much to work with here. A little bit of aggro there to start. Rubino looks towards second mid, takes down Sunny. And you'd probably be happy about it. Take down their MVP. pull back to the bomb site, and you're absolutely fine.
Smokes down at the bottom of Banana. Jacob trying to contest it, but not pushing down. Actually got HS through the smoke, so that's pretty good. They contested against the pistols this time. They'll re-smoke it, so they are maintaining Banana control. Maybe not as effectively as against Big for obvious reasons, but more so than what they were able to achieve yesterday against Penta. So keep an eye on the fact that when guns come up, I expect they'll start to get aggressive against Jacob.
They're kind of biding their time here. Not really sure what they're hoping for. And maybe a mistake from the CD side, just walking into their crosses right now. Quite a fair enough siege up. 6-1. One round so far, of course, for Penta. Another buy available for them. The AWP coming out this time. They're struggling a little bit here. In terms of objective for the T half, like you're at least looking for like 4 or 5 rounds, and that'd be enough. Obviously, ideally win the half, that'd be fantastic, but it doesn't look like Penta really can get going here. We actually saw this on day one, Matt, if you remember Penta. They up against iGame, I believe it was, and they really struggled on the T side. It was like a massive clutch from Sunny, I think 2 in a row, that got them into the game, and then at that point, they got to the CT side, they were fine. Like the last 4 rounds, he turned up, and actually gave them a fighting chance. And I was saying that wasn't the case really when on the analysis together. But okay, Penta don't seem to rely on this one player in particular. They're quite happy to have firepower across the board, and that's true, but in this particular encounter, they're looking pretty poor. 1 for 6 for Zen, Crystal 2 for 6. Quite a similar story until you get to the very top. HS with 5 kills after 7 rounds. I'm quiet for now. Another default. CT's full. I thought we said they're going to challenge Bernard. They got full control once again. Leaving 1 player there. 4 guns towards the A side. Sunny was lying.
Apparently so. He's fooled me. HS gets lagged by Fox, who's going to go off arch to the right. He's left on entry right side when they cross over. And unfortunately, they haven't been able to find him. They walk into another slaughter. Dignitas, who gave up ramp time and time again yesterday, have rectified problems, but it goes to show you how when it fits into place, you're able to play off of each other and everyone gets on the same page. They're able to hold the same position. But look at the HP. 18 for Crystal. It's 12 for Fox, 7 for Croman, and Bomb is down over toward Library. No one's really watching it directly, but he'll expect that they are, and as such has to move at a slow pace. 26 seconds left as well with the AK. Thinking about it. Has to go so that he runs across, and in one motion grabs the bomb and lands in the sight. Harder to hit, harder target to hit. Jacob makes no mistake of it.
Penta making this too easy for Dignitas right now. This is just the basics of the map not really being achieved. They're not showing presence towards B, not really doing anything towards middle, just waiting 45 seconds and going up as a team. 4 players on the A site. There's a pretty clear reason why that's happening, because you're not going for that banana control at the start. You're allowing them to have it. Basically, 1 player at the car position. He has enough time just to spot down there, give information to his teammates. Then they've sent 1 back towards A, and then you'll walk into the Lion's Den. There's crossfires all over the place, and you're getting bombarded by utility, running through smokes, flashbangs, and it's looking really poor for Penta. This is their map pick, and I haven't really been convinced yet. But if I can see him, where are the B executes? Where's the basic banana control? Let's go back to that. If nothing else is working, the defaults are shocking. Go get some B control, smoke spawn, smoke coffins, Molotovs in, flash over. At least you've got a fighting chance of getting some trades in. Right now, it looks like they're a little bit lost.
Well, someone who will find them. Fox on his AWP. He may find, but he won't kill or hit his target. Rubino instead with Pensky this time, with Jacob as well. 3 players on B. They like to go to the top of B with the smokes early, but this time by staying there it actually benefits them. Watch the flash. Everyone a little blind by that, but Rubino makes no mistake. 8-1 for Dignitas. This is a map that's come to place.
This is not the most convincing performance from Penta so far. Had the bomb down once. Won the first gun round, but that's what we called the little bonus round situation. The UMPs and Famis's were up for dig. Ever since then, been a very one-sided affair. 5 rounds in a row. Crystal brings out the AWP once again. Zen, a player I've been kind of singing the praises of for most of the tournament. 1 for 8 right now. I guess no one really arriving for Penta whatsoever. So Fox once more takes the shot in middle, and Croman, he delivers a little bit of aggressive play there towards second mid. Gets 2 frags, but it's quickly shut down by Crystal. 3-on-3 now. A chance for Penta at least. No real strategy deployed here, just waiting for the CTs to push into them and actually getting the trades.
Flash bounced off wall. Rubino to peek as a result of it.
Oh no.
He gets 2, we'll call it 2. It's his presence that creates the second kill, which was HS taking his teammate down. HS just finding ways to get kills in every round, isn't he? So Jacob's gonna get Crystal. We go 9-1. They're looking rather relaxed.
As I said, when things start going horribly wrong, I was going to say something else. When things go horribly wrong, just go to the set pieces. If the defaults are getting completely blown out of the water, basic banana control. Wait for the aggression of the stuff in the CT. You hold up in a default formation. Objective. I'm in game leader right now. I'm saying, okay, default, no one dies. As passive you can be and still hold the choke points in terms of CTs not getting towards T-spawn, second mid, apartments. Then, wait for them to expend their utility. Like this smoke at the site, wait for that to go down. Use your flashbangs once they go down, get basic banana control. Let's just do an execution. That's all we can really do right now because no one's really arriving in the fragging. The defaults aren't finding any map control. This is better from HS. He does manage to get something rolling with the Tech 9. Takes down Tensky. Still a lot of work to do, I'm afraid. They will recover one weapon by the looks of things. Surely. There it is, M4 for HS. A player that seems to be able to crack open bomb sites by himself. They can fall back with the man advantage here. Is there a chance? They've decided to come back. Okay. Presumably Sunny on the other side of the map. I'm going to see on the radar. Yes, it is. This is becoming one of his calling cards, being up to bomb sites by himself. Flashbang comes with Rubino. Can he deliver?
Rubino trying to deliver, gets the shot toward Crystal, but HS gets him back immediately. Doesn't really do much. That close up. Jacob is also going to try and go back in through Ruins. Same position. Pistols no utility as a result of the economy, so it should be an entry from Jacob that's quite convincing, but tags not kills onto Innocent. Fox does better, but Innocent gets 2 back after getting away from Jacob. He's killed his teammates quite convincingly, and Jacob's realized the grim situation, so we should go 9-2. 9-2.
We will. Out of nowhere, the Tech 9s deliver. Pushing through the smoke was HS. He got the first kill, upgraded to the M4A1, and manages to finish with 2 in total. It's going to be the final situation there. Jacques Wim cannot get anything done. So Penta now, throwing a bone at least. And they will have plenty of money going forward. The orb comes up for Crystal once again. As we enter round number 12, coming to the closing stages of the first half here. We'll see if they can maybe find 4 or 5 rounds. As I said, I would take the tactical pause right now and see whether they can fall back to strategies instead of defaults.
So then, if they fall back to strategies instead of defaults, let's see if they can get some banana. I haven't had a banana today.
I have.
Yeah, I should have. I normally try to. Anderson's going to make his way inside of the apartments. Clear them with some stray bullets through the wall. Fox, you want banana? Gonna go aggressive. Oh, tags up HS. Zen's a little bit too late to act on it. Tensky still in beside the half wall as well, with Fox firing through it. Zen just sitting there realizing, hey, wait a minute. Looking at his teammate screen to see if he can get any more information before he peeks out, and now they'll start up toward the B site. They are backwards. They have pushed them back, so this is what they ultimately needed to do, is slow them down so they can start to get banana and then start to execute either on a B or utilize it elsewhere on the map just by having the control as Fox is ready with the AWP. I'm going to go on this as well.
There we go, the execution. That's what we wanted. Okay, not like that, Zen. What was that?
Yeah, why do you line up exposed and throw a smoke?
Why would you do that?
Doesn't make sense. This Fox is going to get everyone in the sights. It's 2, not innocent, but ooh, okay. Tensky getting 1. Bomb down, Sunny. Last alive, though. Doesn't have the confidence to plant. Look how quickly they're rotating up banana, so he's trying to put himself out of their sight and get Jacob before they arrive, but that's not going to work.
So we get the perfect setup for the execution. Sure, I can tell you what he's trying to do there. They're trying to have the surprise factor and say, oh, look, we're not doing a set piece because this smoke comes in super late, right? So it's like you can't call when it's going to the top saying smokes towards B. But still, at least flash around that corner first before that, or shoulder bait the shot out. Look how easy it is for Fox. Like, any AWP's going to hit this. Think about it. Who's missing that shot? No one. Oh, that's insane. Even you got the M4, you're hitting that. So that's really disappointing for Penta. They're really struggling here on the T side. I mean, you've got that perfect setup, just do the actual execution. Now, the surprise factor, I don't think is an issue. You haven't got any presence anywhere else on the map. Let's just go with it. Let's just do the smoke CT spawn. The smoke's in, please. Just give that a go.
Fox is off of it, off the corner. All the way back around to the arch. It's going to be a wrap completely into the site. No one in the pit. They play 2 on A this time. And Croman, with no pit support, still finds 2. And Sunny only manages to get him back as they get the AWP of Fox in position. So he walks out, and Fox is already able to take him down. Bomb dropped. Penta's looking really, really poor on this map. Zen. Decent run and gun. But now 11 rounds for Team Dignitas.
It is indeed. And no money for Penta. This feels like they might be out of their depth a little bit with this one. Round number 14. Might just have to force into this. Looks like they will. Tech-9's armor. The Eagles. Some smoke, flashbangs, and some highlights here of the previous round. Up towards quad this time, and can't really get much done there whatsoever. 11-2. They can get everything going. They managed to get their second round with the Tech-9s. They were 9-1 down. There's Tech-9s and nothing else towards Banana. And we'll see whether they can maybe have similar luck here. HS, I'm looking at you. Let's see what you got.
Not to name any names, but yeah, HS, bro. Another deep smoke. Tensky boosted this time on top of the wall. We'll try and fire toward the smoke. Let's see if they'll push through it. Jacob isn't really sure exactly where he wants to play just yet. Tensky being up on that wall has vision, but he has no smoke left, so Jacob doesn't want to consider getting back to help him. He's flashed off it now. He will rotate around still at CT spawn, so it'll pretty much be on the site if they continue at that pace, but they slow it down. Smoke out as well as Jacob's going to position himself on the inside of it with another one in front of him. He's confident to do so. Because if they push through, he's going to try and catch them off.
It's Sunny again. In the apartments, this is pretty much all they've got, it feels like, once they get some banana control. He's never really with the team. He's going for those kind of happy-esque plays. And then they go with the Tech-9s. It doesn't feel that promising. Jacob and Tensky just mowing them down. A bit of a shooting gallery here as the Ducks run by. All 5 sprayed down, 3 for Jacob, Tensky gets 2. Final round now after force buying the previous one. This will be a 13-2 half map. And for all we criticised Dignitas on their CT half yesterday, I have to say Penta have really not impressed me on their T sides in this particular encounter. Looking pretty poor. Didn't fall back to the strategies, didn't go anything, didn't change the pace at all. Where the rushes, like, don't just free throw in the defaults and these kind of lackluster executing. This almost played themselves here, it felt like. But Dignitas have looked decent on the sides, mixing things up with aggression as well, so fair play to them. That skill coming in, like I said, 13-2 very likely here. HS pulls one back, but that's might be all they pull back.
Fox trying to cover off the angle again on the AWP is going to be holding toward Arch. They've lost 1 in A. But they push down Banana again, so they could either rotate around or push all the way through if they get enough information toward A. Rubino covers off the apartments. Fox sees them top mid as well. Now they're going to go through Banana. 2 players push down. It'll be a confrontation toward the top of middle. Flank first from Tensky. Flash out. Fox hears it. Dodges it. Actually the smoke, but Tensky's positioning. Good job, Dignitas. Not only getting Banana, finally pushing all the way around it. Catch off Penta, 13-2. Pretty poor half from Penta as well. But Dignitas, again, 2nd game in a row, they've dominated the CT side.
Yeah, pretty stellar performance, I have to say. They're looking incredibly comfortable here on Inferno CT side, at least. It will be round number 1, of course. The pistol at this stage must win for Penta. Lose this, it is GG. They win it on the CT side. There's no real reason why they can't give the exact same treatment back to Dignitas. That's always a factor in CSGO. We've seen bigger crumbles than this before. Let's get into it. buy comes in. One smoke, one Molotov for Rubino, the in-game leader, of course, and 4 sets of armor. Very fast play of the CTs, and Sunny looking to do some damage here. Not that much, so gets 1 kill, but lots of HE kills, or damage, I should say. It's up to Zen now to finish the job off, and that could be the game right there.
Smoke down, trying to get them on the cross. They jump over. Rubino and Tensky tagged out of it. Dignitas with bomb down, as you say, could have control of the game, or could they not? HS winning it. Banana suggests that they'll be able to wrap around from from Ruins with just 1 kill and completely pinch off the site. Low HP for Rubino and Tensky, but unfortunately it's just HS remaining. Has spotted up the high HP player in Fox. But not much he can play for. Does have a kid. Got to be perfect. He's got to hit that headshot immediately. These two should be easy. Can't even hit those. It's going to be Tensky. So good accuracy throughout the day. This time it doesn't come up for him. It's going to be 14-2, and like you say, could be the game right there.
I think so. Means they have to force buy into this one. Don't win this round, that is the GG, because they'll have no money for round number 3. I think they know it's over. We will be going to the next map. 14-2. So AKs, UMPs, not really much Penta can do than hold up in crossfires and hope that Dignitas make a mistake here. So overpass, just in case we get there, will be the 3rd and final map. I can't imagine Dignitas go that deep on this, considering what I've seen in the other matches. I don't think they've played that this tournament. I have no idea. I haven't followed this team at all. They've been doing ECS while we did Pro League. So I'll be interested to see what they can bring to the table there. I'm sure Penta can probably play that map quite proficiently. So who knows? Round number 2 here. Damage being done. Jacqueline doing what he can in the apartments here. Got to stop saying Jacqueline. That's going to become a thing in my head. I won't be able to stop.
Nah, it's going to be good when you do it at the major.
Yeah, right.
If he gets there.
Started off as a joke, and it's
yeah,
stuck
just like Hank.
Yeah, that's got out of hand.
Just like your whole life.
Yep.
Rubino takes down Crystal.
Without games for a living. How did that happen?
That was kind of rude. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sad. Last in it. It's going to be 15 map point for Dignitas. As you say, we do go to overpass to close out the night, to close out the upper bracket. Winner of this obviously goes through to the grand final, but that means not having to play until tomorrow night. They don't have to play at all until tomorrow night. So we start off tomorrow with actually the lower bracket.
Crack out the champagne today.
Yeah, why not?
Head to town.
The Rosewater. You could do.
Paint it red.
Definitely could do. It is Saturday, so yeah, lots of red to be painted.
Saturday.
All right.
Saturday.
Hank's taking a leaf out of my book right now.
I'm going insane.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the point I was trying to make
Go on.
was now back to the game, shall we?
Do you know how it feels now?
Is that the lower bracket tomorrow is actually, in some ways, yes, an elimination match from not making the finals, but that one team that loses that is the team that's not going to the qualifier.
Right. That is true.
Got there in the end.
It's a good point to make.
Tensky takes Zen. Smoke off towards CT. Do you want to swap completely? You can just start doing the play-by-play?
Nah, it's not my style.
Sounds good. Rubino takes down Sunny. Croman. Bomb picked up. Back to B. They're in the site. Pistols push through. Not only in the site, they're in the win. One for the win column, one for the W.
Absolutely, and then some. That was a bit of a stomping. Yeah, Penta, I'm sorry, they looked great on Mirage in terms of the T-sides and stuff like that, and then we went to Inferno, they didn't really have much in the tanker scene. That was a very lackluster performance, considering that's their map pick as well. Starting off the T-side.
And after what Sonny told me, they went for it specifically because they beat Dignitas, and they thought they could do that. Well, guess what? Dignitas has that in their back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
That almost needs to become an auto ban at this level.
This is like a little boot camp for Dignitas now. Like, they started off pretty poor on the CT side of that map. Now it's getting better and better. And it's actually looking pretty convincing at this stage. That wasn't bad at all. I'm actually quite happy with that one. So there it is, 16-2 coming in, and Dignitas running away with it quite significantly. It was a very close game on Mirage as well, 16-13. After winning both pistols, a slight caveat there for Dignitas, but good showing so far. Overpass, I can't really speculate too much, as I said. We haven't really had a chance to follow this team since we've been casting. They've only been a team for 2 months, and we've been all around.
Obviously we've kind of followed it with interest because it was Michael Ailey's new team. It's Rubino coming back over from the former Dignitas. They're bringing in Jacob, who was on phase effectively before Nico joined in. So it was interesting for sure. In fact, obviously, actually, the truth is, Kiyoshima left the team first. Jacob stayed. Jacob was then removed, and Kiyoshima came back because Kerrigan wanted him. So it's definitely an interesting team, but now we're starting to see some form from it. With that said, we go back to the panel with Paul.
Thanks very much, Matt. Yes, a 3-mapper it is then for the upper bracket final after a very, very big performance from Dignitas on Inferno. I feel like I'm repeating myself from earlier on, but it's not always been that way. They lost the last time they played against Penta on exactly the same map. They've certainly, Duncan, improved their CT side. What's that, six, 7 rounds now in 2 Inferno games? I think you need to stop playing them on Inferno now.
It certainly seems like it. I mean, especially because the funny thing is, we've seen Penta lose a couple of these Infernos, all have really, touch-and-go games, and yet that was the map that they had the crazy stats online for. So, I mean, I guess, first of all, when we watched the Big game, Big was so atrocious at fragging. It was hard to know how much of it was Dignitas, This game, I thought, was a lot more. Like, they really showed quality. Because, again, you could see patterns running. They actually could play the spots. They also rotated some of the spots up. Like, they really seem like they've adapted from the mistakes they made earlier. And everyone can give lip service to that. Like, oh, yeah, when we lose, we'll go home and watch them. A lot of people don't. They just, what they really mean is I just won't make the same mistake.
It's obvious they have, isn't it?
It's clear that they're just a work in progress, I think they're a team who, it's their first land, they probably had to come here just to figure out what works, Whereas actually, conversely, Penta's kept thinking they can go back to this Inferno again, because online they're dominant on it. So,
well, I was going to ask you that as well, both of you, in fact. Is this just a result not only of them going back last night and maybe talking through some of the issues that they had on the CT side and fixing them, but also just confidence from playing more together on LAN?
I do think that they've started to get some things together and it's like they feel comfortable. Like, for example, this was exactly the scenario where the Penta guys were saying, oh, yeah, well, when we saw Big play and other teams play them on Inferno, they didn't understand how to attack Fox at the B side. We're going to exploit that. You didn't do anything. You just smash your head off, and then Jacob was going off as well. So it just shows you, sometimes you think you've got, oh, if I was in that game, But if anything, who knows, maybe they did adapt to it, but Dignitas themselves fixed something from the last time they played, and they realised that it happens that way. So, yeah, just impressive stuff from Dignitas.
Yeah, and Harry, not unimpressive from Penta, because it wasn't like Duncan said, it didn't look as bad as Big earlier on, did it? With a lack of frags or a lack of entries or getting into bomb sites. There was still that going on, but somehow they just lost all of those rounds.
Yeah, and I think that kind of comes down to the fact that, when we saw Dignitas and Penta play originally, if you remember, we were expecting Dignitas to do quite well. It was a map that they looked good on. And then Penta go out and just kind of smashed them in it. And we were all kind of quite taken back by it, but there were clear issues. And Penta being the team to actually inspire that change, seeing Dignitas kind of primarily go off of what Penta did to make those changes in the first place and realize where there were mistakes. I think Penta just tried playing that same game once again, and of course, that was exactly what Dignitas kind of tried to counter, so it worked out brilliantly for them.
Yeah, it did. Let's take a look at the MVP. Quick word for you on the MVP as well as we show you this. This is the 5th different member of Dignitas to pick up an MVP award. It's Tensky this time round, and I think that's kind of says it all about the team, really. They've all stepped up at various points that they've needed to.
Yeah, and obviously
new boy, old boy, middle boy, in-game leader boy, old AWPA boy. They've all had a shot at it.
It's all crucially the right timing to do it, because that was exactly what we praised Penta about. That was the one thing they'd really had it in spades. It was always different people. So yeah, I think first of all it shows that all members are starting to get a feel for the game. And someone like Tensky, when he was in Dignitas, the one that's north now, he didn't come close to sniffing an MVP,
Yep.
Or unless Config left his shirt on the back of his, a rocking horse or something, I don't know. But yeah, no, he was never going to be in the contention for that. And you've seen that across the board here. Fox has reinvented himself as the old AWPA he used to be in the kick Portuguese teams. Yep. I mean, funnily enough, Rubino, the actual probably most overqualified player from last year, he's just the in-game leader. He has the occasional game himself. So you're really seeing a lot of depth from this team, actually. And that's one of the things when you looked at them as a team, there was a lot of question marks about Tensky. I mean, he wasn't knocking on anyone's door to be picked up, So they've really made a lot out of actually not that much in terms of a roster. It seems like they're exceeding expectations.
Yeah, Harry, when we go through it, Duncan's mentioned Fox has had some bright games and he's had some MVPs as well. Jacob also had a couple of quiet games, but also had some very big games for them. And perhaps more impressively, Croman, the new boy, has also had an MVP award in the middle of all of this and stepped up too.
Yeah, Croman's someone who has been kind of really impressing me. He's come into this quite new, and that's kind of the handy thing, having someone like Rubino in your team to help out. He's the one with all that rich experience and stuff to kind of simmer down the new kid. He's doing some fantastic stuff, by the way. Croman is. I think they originally played with was it Mutiras within the team.
I think as a stand-in, yeah.
Yeah. He was the original one, and then they brought in Croman, and originally it was kind of like, no one had really heard of him, and suddenly, even in the early days, he was performing really well, but it was clear that the edges were a little rough and needed to kind of be sanded down and rounded up, and they've done phenomenal. I mean, you really have to commend them as a team as coming together, and they came into this not like kind of this whole thing just as the team, and they looked a little bit rough, but now they're starting to look kind of like more like a finished product almost, if you will. Actually really selling themselves.
Yeah. I mean, future bright, really.
Yeah, definitely.
For these teams.
Well, the funny thing is, this really shows how actually being able to peak through a tournament really changes the way your perspective is on the team. Because remember, this is a team where you looked at the LDLC game, and I think even Dignitas would probably admit some of those rounds, like those were LDLCs to lose. They really could have gone up already, and we wouldn't even be talking about Dignitas now. But because they did escape that, remember, in that kind of a scenario, it doesn't matter how many you win by. It just matters that you win, because then you get another chance, you get another day in which to improve upon what you did and to actually show that you've got more. And they have done that today. We've had these big CT halves. That was the number one knock on them. So if that's gone, why not win the tournament, right?
Yeah, and that's equaled the biggest result that we've had over the last 3 days as well, 16-2. Impressive.
Yeah,
Nothing else really more we could say about it. To be honest,
it was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, what, like 16-1 would be all we could really ask now to beat their record. But I mean.
We get a third map now, so that's good. Before they head to that third map, let's check in with our social media questions. We've managed to get through quite a few of them today, luckily. Thank you for all the questions that you put in there as well. Our latest one is, what are the odds of no NA teams qualifying for the major?
High. No, okay, no. I do think, we probably could see.
I don't think they're that high.
Do you not think Cloud9 have a reasonable shot at it? Liquid, maybe, if they can bounce
back? To me,
back?
it's Liquid that I mainly look at. Like, here's the thing. Cloud9, Liquid, Optic, in their own ways, have chance. Like, Optic still have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
It can happen. You can have a little run there. Remember, it's not all the top teams. You can also be that lucky team that gets the reverse of what Optic got in the major, where you get the guy who upsets someone, so you've had 2 wins, and suddenly you haven't even played anyone good yet. That can happen as well. So I think Optic has the weapons. Cloud9, they have some of the players, but first of all, they haven't been in most of the recent majors, and obviously there's dysfunction in that team, no in-game leader. To me, the most obvious one's Team Liquid. Like, they're the team who legitimately could be on the rise. They're going to have time to get it all together. I think the pieces are coming together, and in my opinion, they have the best NA players. So, since I actually think Liquid will make it, I'll say not that high that no NA team. Like, especially if I can just pick any of them, I'd say maybe like 10% chance that no NA team makes it. I don't think all of them make it, though. Absolutely not.
And presumably, obviously, we're talking about Immortals as a South American team in this context, even though they're based in North
because
America.
I'm not going to give NO those 2 majors for that SK Gaming one. It's not going to happen, guys, I'm afraid. Don't care if they even get citizenship. It's not happening. So,
keeping out of that one completely. So you not think that makes sense?
No, I'm pretty much the similar boat there. Okay. I mean, the other thing with NA as well, I do think that when it comes, time to actually graft it out, they do, genuinely speaking, do quite well. It's something you kind of have to commend them for. Yeah. I think they are kind of, they're very, very good at getting their stuff together, on the lead up to it. I mean, they are ones that, sadly people do kind of jab at every now and again. But, I mean, for a start,
Matt more than anyone else, frankly, as a North American caster.
For a start, I have no grounds to stand on. Right? I'm from the UK. Like, what have we produced?
All the best talent in broadcasting of all time.
Yeah, I mean, look,
just that, I guess.
Look, I was just going to point out that there's 3 Brits on the panel here.
2 of them legends.
You 2 are absolute legends. I agree with that. And here we are in an upper bracket final again. Exactly, It just keeps happening, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So why do we need any players?
I get out of bed, trip over them in the final. Get at me, Cloud9.
Let's take one more question. You saw the players just headed back to their seats. So there'll be a couple of minutes before they're ready to go. So let's take one more question if we can. Do you expect VP to be in form for the major? I mean, this is one of those odd ones, Duncan, isn't it? Because asking if VP are going to be informed for the major is a bit like saying, will they be motivated to play in it? And absolutely every single time, doesn't matter what kind of form in, whether they've been in good form. I mean, there was one major, I think they won 3 of the previous 4 tournaments and then came in and everyone was talking about them. Maybe they could be they were still in with a shout. Didn't matter whether they'd been playing well or not. Another tournament they've come in like this one. They come in on the back of a terrible run, frankly, and in their very illustrious career. You can never count them out in any match of a major.
You can't, and certainly, like, here's the thing, in the past, all those majors that they did well years after the lineup was set, actually, the correct analysis is they shouldn't have done that. No, they're doing badly right now in early 2016. Oh, before that, well, they're never going to beat Team X or Team Y, so maybe group stage this time. The problem is, because they kind of did the impossible so many times, I actually don't think that you can just say, well, they'll just keep doing the impossible. That's why it was incredible that they did it now. So I have to say, just with my analyst hat on, I'll go ahead and say no, because actually
Okay.
I look at the moment, like Snacks is not playing very well, and he's a key player. Also, part of the reason we've discovered through a lot of the interviews and a lot of the different, just watching them play over the years, is that they're not like what NIP tried to do, the same team from 4 years ago. They do really change up the roles and who the in-game leader is. So the problem is I feel like that has to happen as well. I feel like they need to do another change. And so then really what you're saying is in the kind of black box they're going to disappear into while they practice and no one gets to see them outside of tournaments, can they fix the problem? Now, it's clearly a tough problem to fix. They're the only ones who've ever done it in the past. So, okay, good track record. But I'll go ahead and say at the moment, I would bet on the other side of that. I'd say I don't think they'll have a deep run. I think maybe they could maybe get out a Swiss system. That could happen. But I don't think this is going to be one of the ones where you're like, they might win the major. I just don't see it at the moment. And so if they can prove me wrong, fair play.
All right. Okay. I'm hearing that the players are all back and ready to go.
Definitely not, because I can see that guy. He's not in his chair right now.
He was kind of headed back towards his chair, so we'll let him off.
Okay.
We'll let him off. We will head back to our commentators now for yet another game. We've got one more game for you. That is the last game of the night. Let's see how we fare and who will go through to the grand final, Penta or Dignitas.
It's the age-old question, Henry. You've been asking yourself. You've been asked by many people.
Penta or Dignitas?
Penta or Dignitas?
Bloody hell, yeah, it's a big question. Who knows? Overpass, I don't know. I haven't casted either of these teams on this map. So a bit of experiment for both sides, I guess. I'm going to say from what I saw so far, Dignitas seem like they're firing on all cylinders. Penta have dropped off significantly since that first map. So for me, I'll just go with Dig based on that previous performance, but I don't really know.
They have to be assertive.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Their T side, they look like they just got into a cage and didn't want to get out of it. They put themselves in there. They could have said, okay, look, we're 8-0 down, whatever it was. Let's actually maybe just go for some strategies or some rushes. Like, we've already qualified. I was hoping for some fast-paced kind of cavalier counter-strike. Didn't really get that at all from them. They looked really scared to bring anything to the table. And I think they probably chatted outside. I was standing next to them just then, and they were kind of discussing what went horribly wrong there. And I think they know. So hopefully we'll see this on their T side, but they do knife for the third map. So maybe get a CT start. It might feel more comfortable there. They didn't really have a chance to show us what they are made of on the CT side whatsoever. So overpass. A map we haven't really seen here at the minors. It's normally the standard maps. With, like, you don't normally see nuke or overpass really that much to this TSTS, but here it is. We'll get into it. It's going to be Dignitas starting on the T side. I assume they've already done the knife. I won't get too excited just yet. Yeah, they've bought the smokes. So Dignitas T side, 3 sets of armor. Jacob yet to buy. I assume he'll get one as well. There it is. And as I always say, map, D side, very prevalent for T side pistols. One smoke especially, one side to heaven or the CT entrance, and then try to get the bomb down. They'll be heading there though. They'll go towards underpass this time. 3 players there, and quite quickly as well. Looking to clear out the connector and see if they can get this first frag. It's a very passive hold from the CT. You can see HS by himself on the A side, falling right back to the bomb side itself, fires up a shot, and probably calling for a rotation at this point. Crystal comes in to back him out with a boost, maybe. I like this. A boost.
Crystal waiting as he lets HS go to work. HS has had the accuracy, so good reason to let him be the one to do so. Tensky already pushed up to the bank stairs, has, excuse me, has Pretzel in his throat. Fox with him as he's going to take down HS, and he'll wrap around Innocent the next in the line to try and walk out and get back into the site. They're already anticipating a flank as well, but Innocent does well to get Fox and Tensky. Jacob gets Sunny flank down. They have to rotate back toward the site because they've left Chrome in there by him. Originally not on his own, but by his lonesome at that point in time. They get all the defuse as well. Innocent's doing an amazing job in this round. He's gone down now, but he's done enough to keep his teammate on the bomb. Crystal with the kit picks up the round for Penta.
It was a big play. 2-on-2 situation, full defuse there. Obviously applies pressure to Dignitas. 5 seconds to take down the diffuser. He's got a human shield in front of him as well. Innocent, great job there. 3 kills in total. The retake, really strong. It was a very passive ball from Penta at the very start. Only 1 player towards the A bomb side, but HS couldn't really find the shot required once he was boosted up, but Cavalry came in, Innocent coming from back, managing to do a very good job. There is the replay on the screen right now. Round number 2, and this is the force buy from Dignitas. Here we go. This is the kind of plays we are looking for. Getting the bomb down in pistol and enforcing the second is not traditional, but certainly can be efficient as we get into a situation where Penta now are aware. They've probably heard shots being fired, so we might be considering falling back to the side here. Jacob with the only AK-47. CZ's, Deagle's around.
Innocent's going to get Fox. Walking out into the open. I should say. Jacob's going to push up as well with the AK-47. Innocent getting closer. The one AK that they have gone already. Jacob can't do anything with it. Boost up behind the smoke out in front of the bathrooms as well. While they're boosted, they don't see anything. They give their position away, and Sunny's able to fire into exactly where that was. To kill, down they go. Crystal. Do what he can with UMP from a range.
Yeah, didn't really get much done there at all there. Dignitas with their force by the second round was expecting at least a couple of kills. Clean sweep of Penta. They would have detected the head armor. You're not aware when you have head armor and you're up against it as a CD side. If you shoot it, regardless of the distance or whether you even see it, if it's through a smoke, you get a sound cue. So they know the force spike came in there from Dignitas. And now they have to be full eco here. Bomb going down, of course. So just one deagle purchase, that's for Fox. And a little bit strange considering he's the AWP. He'd probably want to keep his money as fun as possible, but decides to spend $700 on that weapon. Fox well, showing me why. Gets the first headshot. I think he thinks Innocent through the wall as well, so takes him down to about 60 HP.
Rubino's going to try and wrap around the corner as well. Crystal has to back off, having already lost Sunny. There's no need to overcommit to the situation. Fox is going to push up with a chance to catch off Innocent, but apparently not today. He's looking pretty good. No, I shouldn't say not today, because not this map, Henry.
Not this round. Well, one kill picked up so far. Sunny did go down. I think that's probably all they get done here. Rubino recovers the M4A4. 1 minute remaining. No armor. One smoke. Well, that's gone. Tensky dropped. That's a nice shot there. The backstab coming in. Better lock this down now. Have a nice shot as well to take down Rubino. Here's the M4, as we said. 3 kills for HS Potato, just a clock for Jacquim. And that's going to be the 3-0. So Dignitas now will not be able to bring out the orb. Well, they could get glass cannon. I don't think that's possible. They hit just enough, but literally just an AWP and nothing else. So goes to the AK instead. Gets armor and some nades. And we'll see what Dignitas can bring to the table here on the T side of Overpass. They're a team that's kind of admittedly had a weak map pool, and the strategies haven't really been there either. They're relying on these big names and the experience of some of the veterans within the team to bring them through into victories. And it's worked out so far. They've qualified already for the major qualifier. It's a long road for them coming from the open qualifier originally online. And here they are. Round number 4. CTs, one playing towards connector. That's Crystal. Innocent in the bathrooms. They're deciding to fall back once again. They go for the initial pick and then they don't get it. They go right back to the bomb site here. No orb on either side. It will be Crystal eventually bringing that out.
Tensky already down inside of the underpass position. He's going to start to push up. AK in hand. A little bit slower pace for Dignitas, obviously, with the guns out. Croman already making his way onto the party position as well. Bait and switch angle for Sunny to play. He's got to play off of Crystal, so Crystal can't necessarily leave the park sign or the APC at the furthest if they want to play that, which therefore means they've got to leave the third person out toward the front of bathrooms or rotate Sunny back inside of the site as Innocent. He's right to guess they're on the inside of that smoke, and he nearly gets it right to take down Jacob, but they are going to boost him up.
Well, all comes a bit of a stalemate here. Some map control picked up by Dignitas though, so they do have the execution potential with the 3 smokes remaining as well, but players towards the B side of the map. I think they'll probably leave one at A. That might be Fox, but Tensky and Rubino positioning themselves toward the B side. 25 seconds remaining though. They need to operate quickly here. And HS, he drops the incendiary. Perfect timing. That's going to buy them more time here. And this is looking very promising though, but here comes the cavalry up towards shore. Zen knows they're coming. HS drops.
Indeed, so too does Zen, but Sunny stepping up. 21 HP, nade goes in. Croman's going to take the bulk of the damage. In fact, quite a bit of it as he goes down to 45, but it's going to be Rubino to get Innocent, Jacob to get Crystal, and it's all on to Sunny, who started this inside of the site. 3 kills. He has to get the ace. He has to get a kit, but of which there is not one available. Bomb ticking. It's going to put a lot of pressure onto him to figure out this fast. I think there's a kit in the inside of Monster. I can't quite see it in the dark.
I think he's done for you.
Yeah, he's got a kit picked up, but he is going to be done for. He doesn't even get the low HP player. Rubino able to evade his crosshair with a crouch peek. So it now goes 3-1. Dignitas pick up the first gun round.
They do. But to be fair to Penta, they had Famases and UMPs that round, so definitely can still fully buy into this with 5 rifles, but Dignitas arriving. pretty late, I have to say, into that gun round. They had about 15 seconds when they finally committed. Locked out from Monster by HS's utility usage there, the Incendiary. Bought him lots of time, but he gets taken down straight away. Makes things very difficult for Zen, who was waiting toward that short area, just a UMP. He got dropped as well. Sunny with a decent attempt with the M4, gets 3 kills in total, but not enough to win the round. At least keeps Dignitas modest in terms of their financial situation. So Penta now, a great chance to fully reset Dignitas. Win this, could mean a double eco.
Crystal M4 peeks out from Parkside, no presence toward long this time, and it's all due in part to the fact that rather than get aggressive on bathrooms to get the information and go early rotation, they're just going to play it straight up off B off the start. So Innocent will stay passive as well. And smoke already utilized in front of the bathrooms. Zen takes a quick peek and doesn't spot that Rubino's actually past the mouth of the monster, gone into the corner. Flash over, at least from construction position. It's HS. Continues to try and find an angle. Zen, though, he's just got this look that he's going to strike down toward Monster. The problem is, if he doesn't go fast enough with that smoke especially, Jacob could walk and turn that direction. He looks the other way instead. That leaves Sunny to get 2, and Zen with the first opener is going to shut them down all the way. So it's a round for Penta after 1 gun round for Dignitas, meaning it's a reset.
Yeah, now then, Sunny, that's looking very impressive for him. 2 rounds in a row, finds 3 kills, this time equaling to a round victory as well. That's actually really well played by him. CT entrance, looking calm as ever. Pinpoint accuracy with his aim. Takes down 3 players, and Dignitas, pretty simple round. Basically the same execution they used in the previous as well. A bit more time to work with, but getting locked down and lots of presence having the CTs. Plenty of targets, and terrorists can't find the kills. Has to be a full eco here. Very much so, not a single dollar invested on the T side. That's quite rare to see. 4-1, Penta putting their best foot forward here in round number 6. Looking great. So objective now, keep all 5 players alive. And a fast play. There's nothing really they can do. Because might as well just get this round over and done with. Give some bunny away. It's absolutely fine. Only rifles so far. Zen unable to farm with his UMP. Yeah, it's almost 0 chance of finding a kill or the bomb down.
Sunny closes it, so correct indeed. No bomb plant at all.
I think that's been upper eco here. Could buy into it. It always be like Galil. Okay, yeah, Galil's. Galil's, UMPs, AKs. This has to be a set piece, man. You can't really hunt for map control here. Luckily for them, Penta is not buying the AWP yet. They're going to stay on the SMG with Zen. I guess at this stage it's fine. It's still very early stages of the game, so you don't want to throw any money away. Even 1,200 the UMP would be quite costly for them. I'm predicting some sort of set piece here from Dignitas. The lack of firepower means you just need to get yourself some sort of entry to the bomb site. CT's out. Trying to challenge slightly. Innocent there on the other side of the flames, we can see from Croman's POV. He will fall back, and that's the correct call considering he's by himself. He needs to be careful. Timing, I want to say working in his favour. He might have given his kill away for nothing here.
In they go.
Yeah, that was poor, I have to say. By himself, overextending, and down he goes.
Well, Dignitas will take it because they're back onto guns. They've got the man advantage. Much of one though. No more saw for Bino. Exchanged with Zen will go down. It leaves Fox on 9. Crystal's going to try and sneak out. As much as Innocent overextended, oh, Crystal, you almost want to see him go. You almost want to see him take the risk because they're not looking. They're expecting that Fox has done enough to hold them off. He's going to hear them running. He's going to be perfectly timed as well to completely flank them all off. If he goes out in front of the bathrooms, Fox, sitting on 9 HP, is dead. No question. And they don't even know yet. They don't even have the communication. Fox calls it late, but they're already committed to the inside of the site. And Crystal has made a play, a recovery to make up for Innocent's overextension, and it was a risk, but it works.
Absolutely. What a risk it was. Absolutely amazing stuff from him. Talent of Infection comes out, finds 3 in total. Bomb goes down short, but Dignitas blown out of the water by 1 single player there, Crystal. who's mainly known as the AWPer for this team as well. Not known for his rifle proficiency there, but that's great play from him. 6-1 now, Penta pull another round back. And it has to be an eco at this point. Here's the replay. You can see Fox had no idea that was a possibility. Nice sneaky play. Managed to get the third kill as well. Lovely stuff. Here's the reaction from him. Quite calm.
Quite calm.
Yeah, not celebrating. But still, partial buy. 4th stage loss bonus coming in next round. So, Tech9's CZ Deagle, 3 sets of armor as well, no nades. Pretty simple round for the CT. Maybe a few kills coming in here, I would say, judging by the setup. First one's found by Crystal. Fox takes a shot to the chest there. Well, for now, 1 minute 20 remaining. We have got Innocent towards the bathroom position. He could potentially get a couple of frags here, or might go down again if he overextends once more.
Nice shot, Zen.
Yeah, absolutely. There it is.
Innocent's got Chrome in. It's Rubinho to walk in from Sandbags, and Sunny that's going to pop out. Jacob. We're getting 1 kill on the Deagle on the way through. It's HS to close it out. So 7-1 for Penta. We're seeing the exact opposite of what we saw on Inferno. Inferno, which, as you say, Dignitas ultimately boot-camped in this event. They've played it so many times. An overpass, which they've not yet seen.
Yeah, that's why I was a little bit scared to call them the winner. I was basing purely on the form I saw in the previous game. Still early days, though, Matt. We're just at the halfway point, 8 rounds in. And 7-1 for Penta. So maximum loss bonus next round. They're at 4th stage right now. So Fox can bring out the AWP at least. In terms of fragging, I'll just check in with the scoreboard right now. 4 kills for Clement, Jacob, and Rubino. 1 for Tensky, 2 for Fox. So Fox hasn't really arrived here. He's probably been their MVP so far, which is quite surprising. I think that's the first time I said about Fox in a couple of years, probably, MVP for his team. Since he was put in that support role for so long. Now back as the main AWPer, looking better than ever. Going into round number 9 now. Possibly more defaults, slowing it down probably considering they have the AWP. Fox will be checking out mid, seeing if any aggression comes in. There's a player there, but that's going to be Innocent in the bathroom. Sunny in towards the connector. Nades flying in, no damage really received as of yet.
Tensky already clearing out the bottom part of the underpass. It's Innocent that will wait out by bathrooms. It's Sunny that will play off of him. On top of that, they also have Crystal in the site to watch out toward long A. Bomb down toward the T-stairs. It's all about evaluation at this point in time for Dignitas and evaluating exactly where Fox can potentially get the AWP to work. I like the pre-fire for the jump. Everyone's trying it.
That's why we're thinking that jump idea of the CT side's not really worth it anymore. It doesn't seem like it's worth the risk. Fox, though, that is worth it. Takes down Crystal. That's the AWPer on the CT side. Finally time to get rolling here. They're going to have some map control towards long A. That's where they found the kill. And Fox hungry for more here. Innocent waiting on the other side. And that's a good incendiary, but it might force a T to commit, which I think it does. Fox pushes through. It's a bold play, but he makes it work. 5-on-3 now. To Sunny, who's been the danger man so far for this tournament. Finds 2 frags, taken down. Man advantage still lies with Dignitas. The bomb should be planted here. Up to HS and Zen on the retake. They've got an AK-47 to work with, but no nades.
Jacob back in front, caught out by HS, but bomb was planted. And HS has 7 HP, so HS will likely just run. And right call to make. Really, though, they've got money, so I guess he wants to position for exits.
Yeah, that's it. He won't overcommit them considering he's got 7 HP. Just get in a sneaky position and hope they go hunting. If he gets 1 kill, definitely worth it. But Dignitas know their money's low here.
Well, he can afford to go down with the bomb is the thing. So if he's a pest, then it's going to be very costly. Oh, that
would do.
Yep. Why not? Just throw away the op. They'll grab it again. Obviously, Tensky's there, but the AK's gone, that's for sure.
Yeah, that absolutely do. That's really cool. That means they win another round going forward, another double eco situation. That's guaranteed with that 1 frag. Sunny did what he could, as you can see. Position in front of the bomb site there. Gets 2, but wasn't quite enough after Crystal went down to the hands of Fox. He really did push through long A there. I was surprised Fox went for the push there, through the incendiary, gets a secondary kill, shuts down the round single-handedly. That's his pretty much first arrival to the game so far, so that's good to see. Another 10. Still out for Fox. You can see the money completely eradicated now, so need to be very careful there. If 8-2 comes in, Going to mean a lot more, and a spray down coming through. Sunny, how does he find these positions every single time? Bomb drops, 2 kills obtained, and he's still alive for now as well. Tensky stuck in a horrible position, trying to position himself between short and the connector area. No Sunny's waiting for him. Close the door, probably a good idea. Leave the demon behind you. And he'll be flashing over and trying to let his teammates in towards Monster. But that's where Crystal's waiting as well. Hits the shot.
Crystal, again, the one as you say, but look at HS in the smoke. Thank you very much. Tensky down. No one in the sight, it's Fox, but it's just he that remains, like you say, double eco territory due to this situation in the previous round. Dignitas limited to 2. They'll get a nearly $1,400 into this round and $1,900 in the next. So look for no investment. Nothing at all from Dignitas.
Yeah, that's rough. Real rough. T sides. Definitely a CT-sided map right now, so scoreline's fine. It's just a double eco situation. That's what, okay, so they're going to force into it. I was going to say that. You might as well. You are double eco regardless. See what you can do with the pistols here. Maybe a rush, contact play towards B, something like that. That's looking very comfortable here on overpass. Just joining us, best of 3. It's the winner bracket. This is semi-final. Whoever wins this game gets to the semi-final. So yes, they're both qualified, but it's getting to the grand final means you get a whole chunk more change, right? You're going to get a lot more money. Takes you up a bracket. So still a lot on the line here, regardless of them both being qualified for the major qualifier. That's the buzzword of today, qualifier.
Qualifier, yep. It's the buzzword for all of the majors now.
Yeah.
You could qualify through a total of... Well, I mean, Dignitas had to go through 3 open qualifiers, but you could do it through 1 plus closed plus minor plus major qualifiers, so 4.
Yeah, it's a rough road.
It's a long road. Innocent going down to Rubino. It's a short few steps to get the A site. Sunny. Gets stuck in the air, is able to take him down, grabs the AK right away, tries to spray back in through the smoke, but bomb planted, they'll back off. Pistols to hold it, no one on the flank as well, so they can actually sit on the stalls in the bathrooms until their legs go numb. As HS is going to try and Molotov back out and get on it right away. Not quite, but 3 smokes? Yeah, might as well. Have fun. Round done. They're not going to find that through the smoke. No way. Pistols will try as they might, but no chance.
It's pretty sick, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty good. 1 smoke? Nah, 3.
Get 3 of those down. Molotov towards the toilets as well. Yeah, you're not stopping that. They get the plant in, sure, but they do not win the round. So they have to be... I guess with the fact is, man, they kept 4 players alive with armor. So they can buy into this. They can get 4 AKs out. So that's still kind of good. The bomb plant and 4 players surviving still worth something here.
That's a good point. All the players staying alive.
Yeah, so that's why they take the pause right now. So is this worth it? Getting to the kind of dire point of the game now. 9-2 down. Technically should be equal here, but the fact we've survived with 4 with the bomb plant in means that Jacqueline brings out the MP7.
Sorry, who's that?
It's a new player from Norway called Jacqueline.
Oh, it's a Queen.
Some people call him Jacob.
Is he related to Cristal?
Possibly. I have no idea. I have to ask him in the post-game interview if he gets that. Well, here we go then. They do buy up. 2 smokes. I think a rush is recalled for. Here we go. It is. Through one tunnel, boys. Take a deep breath. We're going in.
Deep breath. Steadies the aim. As Croman and Fox are able to find the entry kills. Watch for HS to wrap back out. He manages to do so. Takes down Jacob. Still are inside of the site, though, planting behind the boards, as Innocent wants to try. Just hold position at the window and get himself back into a much better angle. Wait it out and get further information as well as the smoke dissolves, but Fox has already gotten Sunny. That's the flank down. That's much part of the approach. Fox making it just Innocent that remains in a 1 versus 2. Kit and smoke again. Yeah, might as well go for it. Nah, he's not going to. He's going to tap it and pull him off. I would have liked to see him just stick it. He will a second time. They'll know this time that he will because of the timing, and it's pretty easy as they just set a crossfire and both spray.
It's always quite terrifying when that comes in. Sitting in the smoke, you miss the first few bullets, can get a bit scary for them, but still plenty of money here for Penta. They can buy into this round. Crystal for 8k. So the B rush works. That's what we wanted to see from Penta on Inferno, right? When all the defaults are failing you, just start sticking together, wolf pack it, get into the sides and see if you can get the trades coming in. You just need that first kill. You've got some superstar players. If you hit that first shot, snowball effect comes in, bomb goes goes down, and then you apply the pressure to the CT. We didn't see enough of that killer instinct from Penta, but Dignitas, nice pause. Rubino, the new in-game leader, has worked out how to get his team on the board here. 9-3 now. Need to start winning rounds in a row. They cannot afford to get reset once again. They're all down to about, I'd say, average about $500 each, so it would be a definite eco next round.
Croman waiting to see the jump over top of the half wall. No one's there to do it. HS with a few shots through the boards, but smoke down. Zen's on the inside of the smoke. He's going to try and be sneaky again. HS that pulled that off last time when they walked through, unfortunately. For Jacob, it left him as a basic 1 versus 5. Boost at the park sign, in case you're looking at the mini-map and wondering where our 5th player is. I'll give up on that boost at exactly the time they start to walk down long, so Crystal has to play contends with the lurk, and that might work because the timing is such that they're going to rotate. Oh, they've rotated entirely off of it. I actually thought Fox could walk in and get quite an easy kill. He's done it at bathrooms, but he could have actually picked up more than that on Crystal, who's turned around. So lurk's down. They know it's going to be B. The quick rotation, right place, right time. Penta, 2, make it 3. Add another 2, it kills because it's going to be Zen and Crystal rotating in for the last one. Good read from Penta. Good early rotation.
Okay, well, you can see the limitations of Dignitas right now. The rounds they've really picked up has been a B rush, and then one of the pistols as well. So, going towards B that time, lackluster execution. We did say that's full reset once again. 10-3, not looking too good for them right now. Double digits, never a good sign, especially if you've got the next round as an eco. So they're going to force buy once again, Matt. This could spell 12-3. It's unlikely they win this round, but you never know. Dignitas have got buckets of skill available to them. The Eagles CZs just holding their breath once again, rushing middle. Fox does get the initial kill, but unfortunately 3 coming in favor of Penta there. 3 on 2 now. Fox and Rubino with a lot of work to do here. Innocent's down to 3 HP. They fall back to the A site. It's going to be Rubino with the bomb and an M4. Same story for Fox as well, but he takes a lot of damage there, down to 22.
Innocent getting Fox.
That's a good kill to get from Fox. He got the high HP player, so it makes, at least makes it possible for Rubino.
Well, bomb on a very split up defense, long rotation for HS. So Innocent's not going to be able to do much of this. Rubino's got some time to work with, therefore. He's going to go actually searching through back halls of A, but the rotation from HS is going to go over toward Innocent because he wants to group with his teammate and be much closer if they have to go down and go in one-on-one with his HP on 3. Innocent is already inside of the site, though.
They're panicking a bit.
Jump up, easy shot for Rubino. It's information for HS, but what can he do with it? It goes over, flash comes through, not going to catch him. Rubino's got this. Time's already gone down. Yeah, HS, doesn't matter. It's done.
A little bit disappointing there for Penta, considering the situation. 4 pistols and a UMP is all Dignitas has to work for. Fast play towards middle. Rubino finds another round there. Very clutch, to be fair. Once he got the bomb down, seemed very assertive as to what he had to do. Turning into very strong player, I have to say, after being an in-game leader as well. That normally limits some players, but he seems to be absolutely fine with the responsibility. I don't think his strategic mastermind really coming to play that much this map. They seem a little bit under practice here on the T side. But, you know, round up at 15, if they can find this final round, they're in an okay position. It's still a city-sided map. 11-4's not great. 10-5, definitely workable.
Fire into the smoke for Innocent. It's Croman that gets Crystal instead, though, so Innocent can't get much as they try and go by. Gap in the smoke. Gap in the smoke goes both ways, as Jacob's able to see through it. Rotation from Sunny's got to go inside of the fire, though, as they're in the site, but they don't expect him to be so close. Croman had just finished checking in behind the truck and thought for sure that he was clean. Sunny's capitalized. And once again, it's Fox that remains in now 1 versus 1 that's actually quite winnable when you look at 19 HP for HS.
Stick the tongue out, boys. It's going to be required at this point. One-on-one clutch. Fox up against HS, who's looked incredibly sharp throughout this tournament, but Fox with a huge advantage here. HS has no idea where he's gone. Decent position as well, sitting on the flower bed. Has to take Fox down and then defuse as well. Using the pistol to walk, means you go a little bit faster. There we go. That really begins right now. Fox might expose himself. I think he can just take the challenge here. That's an easy kill. You didn't see him. Did he fall by 3 himself? Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Fox, that was incredibly close considering the HP, but they'll make it work. Dignitas finding a 5th round. We definitely still have a game. Definitely still have a game, considering this was a 9-1 at one point in time.
It was. So, yeah, definitely a game. Pistol, Dignitas win this. Still got a chance to actually get very, very deep into the series. So, here we go. 5 sets of armor for Dig. Interested to see what kind of CT setup they have. Penta looked great, but they dropped 2 or 3 rounds there to just pistols or force buys, deagles, a couple of UMPs, and that's when I felt like they overcommitted a bit there. Pistol round coming in from Penta. Quite a technical one of that, by the looks of things, towards B like we described in the first half. Smokes, Molotovs, and maybe just a straight up rush here. HS wants to fight. And fight he will, but Rubino mows him down. Chiming in is going to be Croman as well. A clean sweep for Dignitas as it seems to Sunny. He does pull one back, but the rush is completely thwarted. And it will be a 4 versus 1, and Sunny now just trying to desperately find frags. Not even going to try and win the round, but looks of things. Just going to hope CT's walking to his crosshair. That'd be sloppy now for them to give anything away. They've got the bomb. Don't even need to flank him. I think that Rubino just told his player, Fox, say, no, don't even bother with that. Just stick with us. Don't give him anything to work with. It's Sunny.
Lock for him only, and a decoy. Then upgraded pistols having the armor. In a 1 versus 4 with no bomb plant, Penta have given Dignitas a chance into this game. Seconds as well. Time definitely a factor at this point. You can hear Tensky ominously running away in the distance, the only ambient sound, or the only non-inclusive ambient sound, I should say, to the map. So too is that one, so knows they're out toward water and construction, but element of surprise, he's walked in, got aggressive, but 5 seconds, it's already done. Yeah, I would leave him.
He's got armor, to be fair. They'll be forcing next round over. They can kill him now. That'd be good. They do. That's definitely worth it. So he gets... let's have a look. Sunny. He's still got $1,000. He got over 3 kills and saved 100 from the previous round. It's not the end of the world, so he made up for that. So they should be force buying him. He does indeed. He goes for the PT50 armor, I think. There it is. 10-6. A much needed pistol there. Pretty disappointing approach from Penta. With a shred of rush, they had all that utility to work with. I guess they're saving it for post-one situation, but might as well Molotov and flash in at least first. But there it is. Dignitas now with a window of opportunity. Mid around the 17.
Croman trying to peek out to see if he spots anyone outside of Monster. HS is there, but he's not sure of that, has no idea. Smoke will go down. Go into jungle on the bottom of the stairs on rotation. And into the site, so fast execution from Penta to try and get a bomb down. It might work. Tensky's gonna run and gun. He's run out of ammo. He's run out of room. Out of legs, as HS will take him back as well. So bomb is not only going to be planted, Penta might steal away this round. M4 for Jacob. Fox on a FAMAS, he fancies it. Jacob looked like he was backing off the situation and made a decision to get the heck out of there, but they'll go together. They find the opening kill. Jacob's got another as well. Fox has perished. In the meantime, Jacob gets 3 of the 4. But Crystal gets the kill back to make it a team ace and a team effort on what was a fast play eco round.
Yeah, very good stuff there from Penta. They did have the nades and the armor to work with the pistols, but still very difficult for Dignitas to handle. And you can see Jacqueline there doing what he can. Finds a few kills, but wasn't quite enough there. Has to be a forced buy in response, presumably. Doesn't look like to be the case. We're going full eco here, Dignitas. We'll need another one after this one as well. So Not great. They could buy, I guess they could buy the next one. They get 1900 off their like 1700 average right now. See if that works out for them.
Opening the door, perfect time. They pushed out from the front of the bathrooms. He's got SMG picked up. Flames will take down Tensky. Innocent backs off and brings out Crystal to take the fight instead on the M4. So no chance Dignitas can try and steal around back in their favor, take the momentum into control. Bomb being planted, Sunny getting a shot. We're only getting that much closer to having it Penta be on 12 rounds.
Well, Dignitas will be buying next, from what I can gather. All of them sub 4K. Maybe they take another partial here, but it's quite a, yeah, if they do buy into it, I was going to say that they're going to have a partial, it'd be 13-6. So Penta are loving this right now. This is pretty much do or die for Dignitas, Matt. They lose this round, which is quite likely. 3 Thamuses, and then 4 for Jacquim and Croman. He's got the UMP. 1 kit, limited utility. They probably have to work pretty hard for the bracket. I don't think they can sit back and crossfires. They need to go towards Connect, maybe send 2 players there, try and work that first pick. I can see him going towards middle as Tensky and Rubino. Tensky does go towards Connector, 2 at long as well. That's Fox and Jacob. Quite a heavy setup towards the A side of the map. They're going to hunt for this frag as well. And Innocent, he has been known to overextend by himself as usual. Needs to be careful here. Down he goes.
Good trade back. So Innocent, as you say, getting the assist and down he went. A trade, though, does mean that even though they've got the advantage on the Dignitas side, Jacob's on 8. They'll stay out toward long. Meanwhile, they think they've done enough to funnel them over toward B. They certainly have, but they're late on the rotations. So they're already inside of the site with the bomb. Bomb that could be planted by Zen at any moment. Flash to go out with the Molotov that's gone away as Tensky able to dodge it. By luck or not, will start to work inside of the site at the very least. Watch the wraparound. Rubino getting Zen. It's all down to him. 1 versus 1. He's going to hold this as well. Oh, it's timing. Sunny has to go. He just barely got there.
1 second. Less than.
That's why I think I love the new timer with all the milliseconds, but I think it should stop with what's left.
Yeah, I'd like that
so
as well.
You could see like 0.5 whatever.
We sometimes get that when you defuse a bomb like 0.1 seconds, it will give us a stat, right?
Yeah,
the
stat.
Screen.
Yeah, those are inconsistent.
We never get that with like defuse attempts, how close they came. That would be quite a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think that's pause map. Like I said, that was do or die time. They came very close to that full defuse. Was desperate, but could have worked out for them 1 second. Just to note as well, Sunny, he's got 27 kills. How many times is he going to be having lights out performances here? This tournament, I'd love to see his overall stats. So he's got to be MVP so far. So many frags, unbelievable. Every single game. Comparatively, Zen, another good performer for them. He's got 7 kills. He's the other Finnish player within the team. Sunny just seems to be the most consistent player at this event so far. Oh, here we go. Another eco for Dignitas. Have to just take this one on the chin.
Yeah, they most certainly will, which means Penta will find themselves toward 14 rounds before Dignitas have a chance to really respond to it. Innocent down below, if they even try and push through. You can see it below the crosshair, our white crosshair that Lurpus loves. You can see the gap movement, but he didn't respond to it. He must have not been squinting to pay enough attention to it because you could actually see the crossover as Rubino got closer. He took him down. Admittedly, with the X-ray off, I didn't know that he was going to be that close, but no response for Rubino to do anything with it. And gets the shot for free. Or they're from Innocent to do anything with it, and they get a gun off that. So AK picked up back to the site. Good entry again. HS, though, getting Chrome and
B-side's open, Matt.
completely.
Look at him.
I will look at it. I've just looked at it. Zen gets Rubino. Crystal inside of the smoke, but Zen's going to wrap in to make sure they don't wrap around from jungle. He gets in behind the window as well, so when they drop down, they don't look straight underneath of them.
Run, Sunny.
Yeah, this is perfect. Oh, a little early. Good information called, though. Sunny does get in a position to capitalize, and it is going to be Tensky in a 1 versus 2. No. Penta should have 14. No kit. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I'm going to say don't face Sunny is my main thing. It's like, make it touch the bomb first.
Well, that'll be it then. Tensky at least keeping the AWP for now. hang on, because Sunny wants to contest. He'll go down. So they lose everyone except for HS, which means their money does get questioned slightly. They've got quite a bit left over, to be fair, in residual cash. They'll be able to buy no problem. It's more moving forward that becomes the issue, because it's a long road for Dignitas, but we've seen momentum shift quite favorable to CT sides on overpass. AWP picked up for Rubino this time, not for Fox. Is that spawn-based? You're in the server, I'm not. I can't quite see.
I'll have a look. Rubino, he's the secondary AWP for this team. I think he probably is the B player.
Yeah.
He's just like, give it to me, I'm going to play Monster or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to play Monster, and Fox actually had the better spawn to try and push out toward Fountain, so that's the call. I've always liked this boost.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
If everyone were just like 10 feet taller and didn't have to boost, Overpass would have a million angles, because every time we see this game, I mean, this one's pretty classic, let's be fair, but we always see a boost of 2 or 3 different varieties. You got Park Sign that's common, Front Bathrooms that's common. This one a little bit less common, but well known. Sandbags common. Lots and lots of them. I'll talk down for Sunny. It's Tensky on the receiving end of it. There was one of his own, in fact, to keep them off from wrapping into basically contention of taking an up-close fight. Flash in. Fox is already looking away from it. Not quite clear that HS has already peeked in behind him as well, but not seeing him means he's able to take down Crystal, who carelessly walks out in the open to the bathrooms, hoping no one would be there. Kind of relying on that information, if you will.
They get the man advantage at least for now. Penta 1 round away from series point. Look at HS's position. He'll actually be sneaking towards the A site, and Jacob finds the next frag, but it might be all for naught. HS can find a kill here. Even better, Innocent gets towards the B side of the map. This could be disastrous. HS, the danger man, there he is. So good at cracking over sides, but Croman, he's waiting and could deny the plant.
Shot down from Croman again, twice for him, as HS wants to swing himself in a position where he can fire down toward the bomb. I don't know that he'll exactly be able to do so. Getting Croman, though, he's given himself a real chance, but 7 HP.
5 seconds.
Yeah, gone. Tensky's also waiting. At least he goes down before the end of time, because Jacob was flanking him, so if they waited even a second longer, if he thought he was safe in the perch, it would have been the end of it.
Well, it's round number 22. I would say there's no real reason to force this round, Penta. You can buy next round, you got 47. I guess at this stage, try and shut it down as quickly as you can. If you do win this round, it puts Dignitas in the financial bin. So, yes, it makes sense, but I'm not a fan of this buy. They'll be eco after losing this one, so we'll see what they can do. Maybe just a B rush, hope for the best, just like Dignitas did in the first half. Towards short, and back towards Monster. Molotov'd out, I guess that's why they couldn't go with their original plan. Or still in the hands of Fox. That'll be towards end of long A, so he's getting decent intel. That could be a B-sided attack. Flashes come in. HS to lead first. We know he is a great entry fragger. Smokes in, CT entrance, and here we go. So they'll be committing anytime soon.
Rotation from Rubino is going to get up on the ramp. It's a better position to be in. When they walk in from the sandbags, they're going to push Monster as well, but Tensky's got to grab the inside position. Instead, does so successfully. Jacob adds on top of that total, and just like that, it's going to be Zen remaining. And unfortunately, Zen goes for the reload at the wrong time. They're able to peek out, catch him off to make it now 14-8. 2 to go still for Penta, but money has to wait at least one longer, so Dignitas starting to close in the gap ever so slightly.
Absolutely. Still in this game for sure. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of that force buy from Penta. I think with this kind of bed of rounds, he might as well have waited to get the AKs out. Now they have to be eco, and Dignitas will post another one on the board. 14-8. Comes up for Fox once again. Let's look at the scoreboard. 16 for Rubino, 16 for JKM, and Fox with 13. So pretty equal kill distribution. The other side, it's Zen who's been struggling. 10 kills with him, and comparatively Sunny on 28. It should be a pretty easy round for the CTs. I'd be surprised if the plant comes in. Maybe 1 kill would be something to aim for this sort of buy. Blocks and PT50s. The damage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Just lights up red in the bottom left corner of the screen. Tensky can't go through the smoke at Monster. Would have liked to, I'm sure, but couldn't do it. Well, all of that said, AK picked up at the very least from Jacob's dead body.
Yeah, Sunny was waiting in T-spawn for him. They're having a little chat about it now. Agreeing it was lame, I think.
Yeah, he even said oops when he killed him, as if like, my bad, didn't mean to be here on you. Sorry about that. So Jacob down, that does give Sunny the gun. Sunny with the gun. Not a bad guy to try and open things up. But on 25, he's the one with armor in the round as well, so they'll leave him with him so there's no aim punch. Is this triple boost? Oh, Croman's dead. If they triple boost up and Sunny has the AK, yep, perfect. Oh no! Oh no, it was so clever. Nice light, no cigar. And unfortunately, yeah, that's like when you see a guy go up to slam dunk, does this crazy like through the legs 360, and then slams it down and the ball just goes off the rim, shoots back up so fast that he then falls, collapses on the court underneath the net, and you don't get the points.
Quite specific towards the end there, but I like it. Yeah, it's exactly what it was like. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say it.
Ridiculousness. It was perfect. Considering they had the one gun, that's clever idea.
That's the thing. I swear, to do a three-man boost, you have to be tucked in a corner. Otherwise,
you move a little bit. Yep. Well, I think they thought that the yellow container would hold them there, but I guess not.
I'm sure they've practiced that. Like, obviously, never done that in my life. But as far as I know, you have to be in a tucked-in corner, and you'll be fine. But still, didn't work out for them, and it will be 49. Look, with double digits is Dignitas this round, looking for series point. Penta, 4 AKs, Galil. Limited in the utility. That's why I didn't like that force by previously. Now they're kind of struggling each and every round. Third save loss bonus. Look at that first pick. Rubino towards connector. And it's going to be innocent to find it. Once again goes down though, and that's foolish from HS. Just runs up by himself. Good fight there by Sunny. How is he not dead there? Rubino got to be a little bit gutted at that one.
Chat's just seen it. They've all gone insane.
They're loving it.
They're loving it. Crystal's loving it. Down goes Fox. Map point potentially, series point potentially for Penta if they're able to convert. Croman inside of the site sees Crystal jump up. He gets the information in return there for the Molotov on the stairwell. Tensky with flames in his own hands, but 8 HP as he gets sprayed through the fence. This looks like it should be Penta's round. Should be indeed, but isn't just yet. Croman getting 2, surprisingly getting 2. 73 HP, kit for him to play with. And Zen's going to try and go all the way back around the map toward the B site. I think Croman's going to read this all too easily. Yeah. Window's a good position to put himself in at this point, but interestingly, he's waiting backstairs as if he's expecting Zen to be closer.
Well, the rotations are so fast on overpass, so I guess he has no idea. He's trying to outgame Zen here. So Croman, well, no, it's a B-side attack at this point. Comes in from the balcony area, and he's got a flashbang, a kit, and 2 kills so far. And unfortunately for him, it does not work out. Zen finds the frag, and potentially the series here as well. Money is still relatively decent. They can drop weapons over and get an AWP as well. 15-9. It's going to take 6 in a row from Dignitas to take them just to overtime here. Penta just need 1, and then the grand final. It's kind of fun for them, isn't it? Considering, I think if I asked you who's going to be in the grand final first in this tournament, considering who you saw, I don't think Penta.
I might have said big. Yeah. I might have said
Envy.
No, I don't.
Before the tournament, you wouldn't say that. Come on.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but actually, yeah, I guess
for
maybe.
A final a mine after the Dallas.
But that's the thing. After Dallas, that's it. That's I don't think I would have actually. I might have said big, and I might have actually thrown you LDLC in this company.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have expected them to be in a position to make it through, but. Directly through to the grand final? Yeah, I don't know. I think it was always less obvious in the EU minor than it was in NA. NA, we got exactly what we expected. The favorites, Cloud9 and Immortals.
Well, Fox did get the first pick there. Up half position once again. Finds it, takes Innocent down. It's always Innocent that seems to be overextended. I actually assumed that was towards Playground, and Jacob finds one as well. We get into a 5-on-3. A few more twists and turns, it seems. Penta do not want to find or at least challenge for refrags. It is giving 3 kills away.
So Zen on the hunt to try and bring the AK a little bit closer to the B site. He's gotten at least in toward the sandbags. If he can get a distraction, if he can get a kill, a pick on the B site, things will be great. But they're actually going to use the utility to fake onto A. Issue with that Jacob's up so far, he hears them running off and back over toward B. So they're ready for this. Not phased, but they are shot through the wall. HS with a good entry. Better shot, Rubino bombed down. HS has to do it all himself, and Tensky's waiting for him.
The reset, so a couple of rounds coming in favor of Dignitas now, I think. That's a double eco here. So it should be 15-12, I would say, after this. Don't buy anything here, boys. Just rush B, get it over and we're done with. Try and get the bomb down, see if we can get some trades. Economy doesn't really come into it. Oh god, are they going all in? No.
Fair enough. Let's just draw this out as long as possible. We do love overtimes here at PGL.
Yeah, I guess we do. I think that's happening. That decision right there. Like, sure, you're going to be double eco anyway, but you still get to keep the money if you're double eco.
You actually have to give it back. Bank of Thorn says so. Pay with interest as well. 200% interest.
It's very reasonable.
Hourly.
Hourly. Okay, there you go.
Well, Zen, bottom of the stairs. What are they setting for at this point? Looked like they had some sort of clever tactic to bring to the table, but they've only got the smoke. At least one of them. Not a bunch of flashes, just a few. Innocent gets through. Does find one quick kill. It's Crystal to follow up on Croman, but the bomb's getting into the B site. They're still not in a perfect position. Smoke on the site, though, does mean that even if the Molotov had landed correctly, it would have been extinguished for where Crystal wanted to plant. But Crystal's going to go back through the flames, and it dies inside of them. Good luck, Sonny. Imagine this is how they win it, Hank.
He looks dejected already. He just kind of starts shaking his head. He knows he can't really do anything about this. Round's over.
Yeah, smoke already on the bomb. Keep the head armor. They won't check here. I guess he goes for it. Doesn't even. So Jacob gets the shot. It goes to 15-11 Dignitas. Still in it. And as you were pointing out already, Hank, not a fan of the force buy.
Nah, well, they get the bomb down, so it makes up for it. I guess that's the one saving grace of the force buy. Like, you're going to have a chance to get a couple of kills, and maybe a bomb goes down, that pretty much pays for it. So they're in a pretty much equal situation. Round number 27. If they'd have gone mowed down with just pistols and nothing else, then like I said, they'd have wasted $1,600 on pretty much nothing. But this works. Tech 9s this time, 50-50s. This will be one of the rounds we're going to get over and done with. Fire up into that next round. They just need one more, and they're in the grand final. We think they don't want to give them that.
Rubino backing off early because he hears them wandering out from the lower stairwell position. Fox is still quite far forward with the AWP. Missed shot, but they'll back off. He's got company. He's got a babysitter. Babysitter Jake, who's got a kill as well, and then it's a spray down Rubino. No mistake made at all as Dignitas finds themselves on number 12.
3 to go. This will be the buy now from Penta. Enough to work with. Like I said, if they hadn't forced ball there, they'd already have an extra 1,000 to work with there. Tactical timeout. So just to work out how do we close this game out. We'll be buying. I think they'll buy the orb though. Here's the replay. Nothing to write home about. Blocks running in. Unarmored. Didn't even have to aim really, but still quite pretty. Round number 28. Going the distance here. I think Dignitas would have much here on overpass. 10-5 in the first half. Lucky to get that. I'd say the last 2 rounds come in their favour due to a few blunders from Penta. But now 3 to go, and they can force overtime. That resets everything, and maybe they can use this particular map as a boot camp itself. As we've been saying about Dignitas, every map they seem to play in this tournament, they seem to get a little bit better, work things out. Back to the drawing board, and Inferno especially is looking very promising for them.
Aggressive play to start it off. From Dignitas toward the fountain this time. Sonny thinks about going downstairs, but then doesn't. Goes back up instead, and they're going to go back over toward B. Jacob's pushed a few times toward the spawn. Most notably, we saw the chat with the pistols, but he's not going to go this time. If he does, it's a perfect opportunity to pinch them off. Was that the plan?
They're just going for a full set piece here, man. They're just like, okay, Inferno, we let this happen on RT side. Oh, this is the full contact play. Just walk in the site. AK's out, HS, let him go in first and see if he can open things up.
The timing of that smoke that Tensky just deployed for himself. That's going to be dissolving as they come up, though, so he's got a shot in. Molotov's down to the reverse side of the bank, though, and Tensky's burned alive. Rubino gets one back. That might save the round. Crystal jumping down, can do nothing of it. Dignitas on 13, and overtime is looking very likely now.
Yeah, I agree. They have to leak this one. No bomb planted they can buy next round. I would say money's on the issue on the CD side. As Rush get this round over with. How do you finish things off? I thought they'd go for the set piece, so I'm not sure why they didn't. They went for the full contact play, walked in, a couple of Molotovs, and HS couldn't find that initial shot, which he's been so good at throughout this tournament. No pause used this time. They have got maximum loss radius next, so they can afford Tech 9's PT50s. Always a chance of danger here for the CTs. Getting right back into this overtime, very likely at this stage.
Peculiar they went for that contact play. I'm wondering if they heard Tensky hit that smoke on top of the pillar. Thought maybe it was failed, so they use it to their advantage, or it was by design. HS is going to take down Jacob. So Tech 9 at least gets something. They'll pick up an M4. Go for the boost again, guys. You've got one gun.
Yeah.
Heading back over in that direction toward B, at least with the bomb. Comes up the ladder now.
Well, all goes quiet. They have got the M4. 2 players half HP. Smoke's available to them. Tensky, though, he's reading in quite nicely, locks them out. So what's the play? Smoke towards heaven, the sights, CT entrance. Smoke's deployed. For the best boys, it's very unlikely to win this round, but if you get one kill, could snowball into something more.
Bomb planted, but denied, not even. Croman gets taken down by Crystal, which allows the plant. So denial of denial, HS getting Fox. Penta's in position, but low enough on the HP, as is Innocent. But Tensky can still do well. Flash in, catches himself off, but Rubino capitalizes by wrapping around. He's gotten 2, but he's lost his teammate 1 versus 2.
Jeez, do it.
He smokes off on it, but he's going to try and put himself above the smoke when they run in. They can't find him. Crystal still thinks he's on it. Crystal does indeed, jumping up. They both think he's on it, but Rubino, he's giving the time up by letting this happen. Knows where they are, but needs to get the kills. Finds one. Crystal still now evading him with his own smoke. It's done. Round over, his own smoke, and Rubino knows it. Takes off the headset and realizes, damn, that one got away. Overthought it a little bit.
Oh, excuse me, that was quite an exciting finish towards the end there, wasn't it? They thought he was going for the full DP. I guess at that stage, it's like, we probably done the kit. Try and run him down. Crystal there.
It's actually kind of funny to watch them run around trying to find him.
Benny Hill moments going on there. That was pretty cool, though. Rubino definitely had a chance of it. Maybe he did go for the full defuse, he'd have a chance, but not to be. And Penta will be our first team mat in the grand final. I'm surprised if you'd told me that before going into this tournament, especially, I'd have said no chance. I think I would have said MVS all day long. But Dignitas, they're already in the major qualifier, just to reiterate. They're still in the tournament, of course. They go down to the lower bracket now, which starts tomorrow. We have 3 more best of 3s to go, and we'll work out who will be meeting Penta in the grand final as well. So quite an exciting result for them, I would say. They've got themselves to 2nd place at least now. That means a whole lot more money going forward as well. So not a bad result. These guys just won Mountain Dew League finals as well.
I was going to say, do keep in mind that Penta is in the Pro League now.
Yeah, so they're having a good little season here, aren't they?
Yep, on the upward trajectory, that's for sure. Into the qualifier as well. A chance that they could make it through the qualifier, the conditions that currently apply to the teams that are in that group of remnants, if you will, from the previous major. We already talked about it on the desk. Thorne and I mentioned Optic looking really lost right now. A couple other teams in there, similar nature, that are on a downward way out. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting thought. Should we send it back over?
Could stay here for a while. Would you like that?
I don't know. How long do you want to stay here for?
We'll stay here, and we will throw the camera back over to the analyst desk. Paul, over to you to close out the day.
Unbelievable. See what I have to put up with? See what I have to work with? Thank you very much, boys. Always a pleasure to hear you commentate on great games as well. And Penta coming through to be the team in the #1 position so far. Of course, they've still got to confirm that in the grand final, but they've guaranteed them a slice of $45,000. Which slice it will be, we'll find out tomorrow, of course, as they go head-to-head with the winner of the lower bracket. We still don't know who's going to come through that one. Let's wrap things up now for this upper bracket final. Are you surprised? Because I know the boys in the commentary box are a little bit surprised that Penta have kind of fulfilled the promise of the show. Don't forget, these are guys that come out the open qualifiers all the way through the closed qualifiers and now shown us the kind of form which actually online they've shown, and Premier for Pro League and stuff, they've shown us that they can do this online, but this is the first time we're getting a chance to see that they can do this on land.
Yeah, for the bigger picture of them potentially, I mean, they haven't done it yet, but potentially winning the tournament, already top 2, yeah, I think that is surprising. Like, I actually did have them pinned coming into the tournaments, where right behind Envious and Big, I had them as like the big dark horse, you know, like I thought they could definitely match up well against probably both those teams. And you knew with Sonny, actually, there's a veritable star player who really could be a potential MVP and probably still on course for that now. So with that said, though, the idea that they win their group and now win the upper bracket, I think that's just exceeding even the good expectations they already had and what they built upon. And then finally, actually, in this particular circumstance here, Overpass, we forgot to check this because we talked so much about the first two matches. But actually, Overpass is a map that now the team's super good on, but actually it's one of the worst ones for Penta. They actually haven't done particularly well. They dominated the CT half. So this has to be a massive confidence boost for them.
Yeah, it's fantastic. When you look at this, Harry, we've mentioned the fact that Dignitas have come through open qualifier, 3 open qualifiers. Penta's also come through the open qualifiers and the closed and here, and have now made the offline qualifier to go to the major. So already an incredible achievement, really well done to them. But now also you start to go, what? When you think about who we could have had here going off to the major, right, or the offline qualifier, NIP, Heroic, Space Soldiers, all in there, Envy, obviously all of these big name teams, big brands, big organisations. Penta Sports.
Yeah,
all along, they knew. They said we're good enough to play with these guys.
I'm happy to see them here. In particular, I feel like we've seen them kind of beat big in a lot of these things, and that to me has been a very good sign, right? Big are the ones that everyone kind of had pinned to do well here, and I still think they could. But I mean, we've already seen the fact that Penta, they're in the top 2 at the very least, and they've got their major qualifier spot. So I think they've gone above and beyond most people's expectations of them. I do think that it was a long time coming for Penta. It took them a while to try and figure everything out, but it has been falling into place as of late. I mean, it was evident even when we saw them at the Mountain Dew League Grand Finals. I mean, when that took place, it was sort of it was like seeing a whole new team, because we've seen them play in Premier, and it was clear that they were making improvements, going from kind of strength to strength. But it wasn't until that we saw them on land that you really see them in their element, and they did look fantastic. After seeing them at GeForce Cup, I was worried. I was thinking, okay, they did not look like the same team here. Is that going to happen, moving into the minor? And thankfully, no. We saw the team, that had been going from strength to strength back once again. And it's a very, very welcome kind of change from Penta. I think Crystal is going to be very happy. He's been with the org for kind of 2 years, and now they're finally getting their results.
Yeah, definitely mixing things up with this international star lineup, and they will be very happy indeed after that. One of the notable players, NEP